Welcome everybody to the final day of the VCS promotion tournament. My name is Everyday. With me is Vinnie, and we've got FTV, the anime protagonists who can never get demoted, taking on the new boys of Percent. And I'm pretty keen for this one.
Yeah, we'll see if the Krillin of VCS continues to hold his spot as the best of the worst. And wow, we are just straight into it. We are straight into it today.
That we are, and I got caught out.
At all.
Not at all, but we are straight into the champion select. And now, we did miss the series yesterday that saw OPG qualifying for the VCS, so congratulations to them. Blame Australian internet. I didn't have internet all day yesterday because of storms. But heading into this one, we immediately have a Nidalee and a Graves banned out. Two farming junglers gone.
Yeah, and we are seeing what appears to be different rosters to what we saw yesterday. Victory is in place of Froggy on the side of FTV, and they're going, and Percent is once again going with Tado in the top lane, even though YT looked really good in their matchup against QTV.
Yeah, I think Tado looked fine in the first outing that we saw for the Percent boys. I think they have two good top laners. I'm not surprised that they sort of move it around. The big thing here is Victory's in. Now, this was something I talked about over and over again during the regular split. FTV should never play Victory. He is not in their best 5 players. Rika and Froggy are both better than him, and they're the ones that get subbed out for him. So I immediately think they've started off with a mistake.
I can only imagine that after their match against OPG, they feel the backs are against the wall. They need to change something up. So they're going to run Victory. I imagine if they go down a couple of games, we will probably see Froggy come back. But because they have been playing Froggy as a top laner, so maybe they're just going, we want Rika back in the top lane. We want Victory in the mid lane for better sense of normalcy. So I don't know why they don't just have Froggy mid lane, but that could also be one of the reasons.
Yeah, I think it's flexibility is the thing for me. Is Froggy and Rika can both mid and top, while Victory can barely mid lane, can't top lane. So it's a little bit... I'm not a fan of it, but let's move on from it. It's a pet peeve of mine to what we're seeing in the draft. We now see the first 3 picks for FTV. What would you like to see them round this draft out with?
So they've currently got a decently strong early game with a Renekton and Elise combo to completely shut down the top side, which is going to be the cannon. And again, I've mentioned Tado is not a tank player, so he's going to this cannon, and that is extremely exploitable against the Renekton and Elise combo.
Yep.
The Varus, if this Varus leans towards a poke build, I need to see Victory on something like an Azir, on a Corki. Otherwise, they won't have enough forms of consistent damage going into the late game. And I see this time and time again, people picking the poke Varus without the necessary backup damage, and you fall off way too hard, way too fast. With that, especially if there is a sort of tankier member, which at the moment would be probably left to being a Tahm Kench. But it is Lisa. Lisa tends to play these, the squishier Enchantress supports. So maybe it's not too much of an issue this game.
One pick I'm a little bit confused about here is we've seen no Thresh. He's not banned, and he's not picked. Aphelios Thresh is arguably the best bot lane in the game, mostly because of how broken Aphelios is.
Still have a ban.
Yeah, he's open. I'd love to see this picked up. Just snap picked here for Lisa. Yeah. I think Thresh is the best pick.
If Lisa, so in their matches against QTV, Lisa was actually playing the Nautilus Aphelios bot lane. That's what they played.
Right. Okay.
I think 2 of 3 games. I don't remember if Thresh was picked away.
There's the Thresh.
So that might be why. There's the Thresh. that's now a very nice strong bot lane for them. But does somewhat open the ability for a Bard or something similar
Bard's
for
banned.
Varus. It's not a Bard, but a
Yeah.
Zillion maybe, or a Morgana.
Yeah, Morgana's really interesting.
It's a very good pickup against their team comp so far. You can shut down the Lee Sin's ability to get a Dragon Rage kick. There's the Azir I wanted.
Though.
Sort of, if you're fast enough.
You have to be... The thing is, it doesn't necessarily stop it. It makes it a bit more mind gamey. Like, so you can put the Black Shield on the prime Lee Sin target, and okay, yeah, there's nothing he can do. But that just means he can flash and then kick someone you don't expect. He still can get a flash kick, because you can't deny him getting in.
Like, yes, generally it'll be like, he goes in for the Varus or the Azir, tries to kick him. If you're really good enough to react, you can sort of block it. But
yeah, it's tricky.
But he can then try to pivot. But usually, if you mess up your primary target, you're not going to be able to get as good a pick, or they're going to go off to the side, or the angle will be put off.
That's true. Yeah, I think the Morgana pick is pretty good. But something we have to comment on is we're in the VCS and we're watching Azir Corki. That's depressing.
I mean, yeah, it is. But, oh, yeah. We're going to see. I mean, I can only imagine that we'll make up for it with the Elise Lee Sin matchup.
That is a lot of fun.
Be definitely looking to impact the early game. The cannon, again, very exploitable target with the essentially point and click of the Renekton Elise.
Very true. And the other thing, of course, is that Morgana Varus can kill Aphelios Thresh. Like, that is a 2v2 where the Aphelios Thresh can absolutely die if they're ever behind a level. So early jungle attention down there by Kuriko could really break this one open.
So, being on red side, Kuriko should have a slight, I guess, advantage, was the ability to go red into a gank for a straight up level 2 gank.
Yeah,
and that would
you made the right point. You just said red instead of blue. To clarify for anyone. Blue side has red at the bottom.
Did I say they were on red side?
You did. You did,
Whoops.
But it's okay.
Anyway.
Everyone, your point was correct. You just said red instead of blue. It's no big deal.
They're on red side, and that red's on the bot side.
Yeah, that one.
No, they're on blue side, takes the red, level 2 gank. But similarly, if Lee Sin did want to start blue, you could match that or try and set up a vertical jungling, because while there is the Thresh Morgana is in part it's a skill matchup in a sense. If you can fake out your hook target, you can easily win the 2v2 by just hooking the other person.
Well, I mean,
the Black Shield goes onto the wrong person.
It's true, but I mean, I think the interesting thing with the Morgana Thresh interaction is even if you hook a Black Shielded target, okay, you don't get the hook effect, but you can still go in, and then Flay hits both, right? You just flay the unhooked person. So it's not a big thing, but I think the big problem is just the damage. Morgana does so much more damage than Thresh. Morgana aids the push a lot better as well. Like, it's not hard to line up between Police and Aquino for a Morgana to drop Tormented Soil on the casters and then have the Varus kill it with a Q and just hit level 2 and kill them.
However,
it's quite scary.
People have started tending towards the Steel Shoulder Guards on Thresh to make up that damage with the extra autos.
But Aphelios, my big fear is the level 2, right? Because Aphelios is the worst AD carry in the game at level 1.
Correct.
So he can just die.
After a level 2 sort of strategy, I would definitely imagine your Kuriko would be leaning more to exploit the top side. Varus Morgana is also a very safe lane. If they want to play weak side that way. Rika's been pretty solid, and especially towards the end of the split when he was allowed to actually play as a top laner,
Yeah.
he looked pretty good. So I think that's where you want to go. You want to go top. You want to just exploit this Kennen pick that was picked really early. And if once you set Kennen behind, Kennen can't do anything. So I think, FTVs, when conditions are a lot clearer, it's going to be how Yase performs compared to Kuruka.
Yeah, that's going to be very important. Obviously, sometimes we see these Elises get off to a 4-0, 5-0 start in the VCS. And if that happens, all you have to do is transfer that lead into your Azir or your Renekton, and the game is over. Right? Yeah, Elise can't carry on her own. She falls off, but it's very easy to transfer that lead. And as you said, should Tado get behind on Kennen, that's all of the engage gone. Yeah. Because the one thing this percent roster, it's not a bad draft, but it's a hard draft because you don't have a very clear front line. You sort of need Kennen to be flanking or Lee Sin going for picks. But if you want to go for the big 5v5, it has to come off a Tado flank. And if he just gets exhausted and dark bindinged, he just dies, and then all of percent goes, well, now we have a 0% chance of winning the fight.
That is, unless we see some crazy things to the level of what TES pulled out yesterday with Corky and Aphelios.
That's the big thing. If they deal, I was going to say, if things can go right for the first few seconds of a fight, percent deal an unholy amount of damage.
Yes, and something we do have to consider, it's going back to the victory point, is the mid diff.
Yeah.
That is potential.
Yeah, Glory has been very good, in my opinion. He's been the big standout for all this percent roster. In my opinion, him and Jase have both looked very good from the
Glory,
games I've seen.
Yeah, Glory looked a little bit shaky in the matchup against QTV, but overall and even leading into this tournament, he was a star. And if he can capture that, he should be able to shut down Victory, who is not a star.
That's a very polite way to put it. Victory, in my opinion, has been the weakest link of FTV and is a big reason why they're actually playing in this tournament.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, fair enough. If you're planning to pick Azir and Renekton, I can understand not wanting Froggy and Rika in. Rika, he's not bad on the mid lane mages, but Azir is fairly difficult. Maybe he's not great at the Shuriman. And, I mean, Froggy can play Renekton. That's not the problem half. So maybe you bring Victory in because you were planning to pick an Azir. Fine.
And that leads into the pick in the bot lane. Police is going for this lethality virus, it seems, with the Comet.
Absolutely.
So maybe this does leave their options open and makes it a bit less cut and dry. If it was the lethal tempo on-hit virus, you'd imagine, Kuroko's camping top. This way, Police needs to get ahead with this build. So now, is Kuroko going to go bot? Is Kuroko going to go top? Judging by the early buff to buff start, I imagine he's going top.
That was so ugly. He missed every CS there. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, and the hook lands. The Dark Binding used as is the exhaust. This is a lot of damage on Aquino. We might have to resync in that case because that is down to about 50 health there for the Morgana. Yeah. My word, how far ahead of you am I? We might have a moment to resync.
Judging by the fact I'm behind the stream.
You might want to restart your YouTube. I'll carry though, as Tado does use that Lightning Rush to get away from the Elise gank. Is an aggressive early game, but they come straight back, and this should be the easy first blood. Tado does go down in the top lane from a good flash stun by Rika. Very well done there by FTV. Realized that Tado thought he was out of the woods when he was definitely still in the thick of the trees, and now Jase coming towards the mid lane. Victory pops up a shoulder. He flashes away, but the Q has landed. This should be an easy return kill. Teleport coming in though. This is a little bit dicey, but no, it gets interrupted. Well done there by Tado. Denies Rika coming to the mid lane, and Glory will be able to farm up safely.
And Victory tried to use the very early lane advantage to get a return kill, to try and extend FTV's lead with the early comment. You get that little bit extra laning presence that the Corki does not have until about level 3, until he starts picking up items, which here he's going to not quite complete his tier, going for the Muramana build, the lethal tempo.
Yeah.
But the double gank top, especially on a Corki who's on a cannon who has started Cull, and this is just Yase in the right place in the right time where he's been a lot. He has definitely managed to get there.
So just if you're still behind, so I'm at 412 at the moment. So if you're still behind, go to your YouTube player and put 2 times speed on. Someone in our community figured that out, and it's really
2 times speed on?
You go 2 times speed and it should catch you up. Because live on YouTube is like a 40-second window. It's not great.
All right.
So you should that should catch you up pretty easy. And we don't have much going on at the moment, so we can just talk in the apps while you catch up.
Okay. So now I'm buffering.
Oh yeah, when you're buffering, go back down to 1 because that'll be real live. So if you're at about 450, what are you at?
Yep, we're good.
We're easy.
Just at 510. Yep, we're good. Thank you, chat.
Wait, did you say you're at 510?
I am. Oh god, now I'm ahead, aren't I?
You are, but that's easier because you're not streaming. Pause at 5:15, and I'll tell you when I get there. Okay.
Say 5:20.
Okay, fine. Too easy. Sorry about this, everyone. This is a little bit of an issue, but we can't do anything about it. 18, 19, 20. There we go. We should be resynced now. We do sometimes have to get our casters back together so that we're watching the game happen at the same time. If you're sick of having us have to do that, feel free to go and subscribe to our Patreon, because if we were making enough money to justify it, me and Vinnie already live in the same state. We'll just move Yulwei over to Australia and we'll have a casting house. Why not?
Yeah, easy done.
Yeah, no worries.
So, so the earlier play, we're back quite a while now, but Kuroko going top, it was already an obvious target, and Tado has done nothing to help himself with this Cull start. He's super squishy. If he's absolutely a sitting duck, there might as well not be a tower with the reset that the Elise can provide. And
I feel like starting Cull into Renekton and Elise was irresponsible.
It definitely was.
You have to know that you're going to be the focus.
Especially when Tado has not shown he has the ability to play this matchup well. He has lost it multiple times, even in the qualifiers for this promotion tournament. And it's just the same again. There are basically the only real thing going wrong for FTV at this moment is the bot lane, where there is a small CS lead and quite a decent pressure advantage on the side of Percent, due to that early play where Aquino almost falls.
Yeah, and he's a little bit behind in XP now, but it's not as big as this top lane is the thing. You have to give FTV a pretty significant tempo advantage. I think they're in control of when the Rift Herald swaps, and oh my god, Lisa has just gone down in the bot lane. No idea what happened there, but he just burns to death in the brush. And Shine tried to farm the wave, and he will now be farmed by Kuroko. Oh no, good cleanse on the cocoon. Will victory come over the wall? He doesn't have his E. I think Shine is easily out of here, particularly with the Gravitum turret. But what happened there in the bot lane? How is Lisa dead?
I can only imagine it was something like a hail of arrows for the slow into the dark binding. Because
probably.
No one's level 6. Police has only just hit level 6. Flash and 2 flashes and ignite have been expended, and Lisa just.
Funnily enough, I read it the different way. I think they started it. Yep, they started it, and they just got bopped.
A little bit of both. That dark binding came out with the hook, and just ignite is enough to finish it off.
So that's actually one thing we didn't talk about with this Morgana Thresh matchup, and it's partially because I kind of forgot. I play a lot of Morgana, but I don't play her in the bot lane, so I don't really remember. I play her in the jungle. But Thresh...
I haven't seen a Morgana in a long time.
Morgana jungle, if you're watching, you should try it. It's really fun. It's really fun. One thing that the Morgana Thresh matchup has is that when Thresh goes to throw his hook, it is the freest Dark Binding on the planet. It is so free.
It is, because you do have that wind-up animation. That
exactly.
You can't dodge it. And usually it's kind of hard to land those bindings because the hitbox is super wide and it travels at the speed of, New South Wales light transit. But
that's such a niche joke, but I love it.
Yeah. And oh no, Glory's going in for the
Glory absolutely is going for the Glory, and Aquino should go down there. Jase will confirm the kill. It is a back and forth affair here. This was a kill traded for a Rift Herald up in the top side. So FTV not too upset. Lose a support, gain a Herald. Yeah, you take those, but it's still good for Percent to keep their nose ahead.
Aquino should not have really been in that position. You get the alert when the package is up. Or when it's taken. So you should know, Glory can be basically anywhere really fast. My jungler and my mid laner are up top lane. Not top lane, top side. I should probably not be out here doing a warding mission by myself. And he's going to walk straight into Yase again. And
ooh, this is a bit of a trouble. The Dragon Rage kick was used, but all of the CC done. And well done there by Lisa, managing to hit the hook. Well, maybe it was well done on him or a bit of a mistake by Aquino that he was the one in the back but did not have the black shield. And he does go down. Percent keeping their noses in front.
And you see, and it's not fully, and you understand Aquino's thought process. He's like, I have to drop the black shield. Police is right on top of him. It goes on to Police. Police moves backwards, opening up that hook. So it's just a little bit of a mistake.
It's a hard mistake not to make.
Yeah, it's not really. It's a mistake where it's not anyone's fault. It just sort of everything goes wrong.
They nearly killed Jase here. Look at the damage out of Police. Yeah, that was just unfortunate for Aquino. It was right to put the black shield, but just the way the models kind of clipped together, a little bit unlucky. But still a kill for Percent, and Aphelios with an early kill. And one thing we didn't comment on that we should very quickly say is it is Lethality Varus, has completed the Umbral Glaive, has the Comet, of course. Yes. Very strong build. And as you said in Champion Select, don't you look smart? You're almost like Yulwei. It's great paired with something like an Azir, and it is paired with Azir.
And it is. And I was very happy to see the Azir lock-in from FTV because with the early lock of Renekton, Elise, Varus, with that combo, you feel they're looking for early game. They definitely need a late game insurance. And you see that is where a lot of teams do go wrong in draft. We saw this in the LPL finals yesterday. We saw this early game focus with the Varus, but it was paired with a Lissandra, so the damage just was not there.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't, I don't know. It was paired with this control mage. So there wasn't really the damage there, and you could see it in the team fights that they just weren't able to get these lockdown kills, and they all falls apart.
Lethality Varus, it basically, in my opinion, the way to think about it is Lethality Varus is almost guaranteed to do 80% of someone's health, but someone actually does need to do the last 20%.
Yes.
And he can get 80% of one or two people's health maybe, but there are 5 members of a team. So you do need someone like an Azir to actually get that done. And yeah, it means we've got an Azir Corki, Resident Sleeper, but it's still a good draft here for FTV. And I'm quite happy to see that.
They are
also
currently
what has he
in
built?
A disadvantage from the RNG of the map of the dragons. The Ocean Drake picked up from Percent will. Well, I mean, it won't do a lot, but But Mountain Drake does do a lot more because the extra armor. Then you can build just one bit of armor, build one Ninja Tabi, build one Guardian Angel, and you undo like 1.5 of Police's items. Mm-hmm. Especially if you get that Mountain Soul to defend, but
Glory could be in some trouble, but no, they call it off. Good TP there by Tato just to make sure his mid lane is safe, and now they'll call a little bit of a lane swap, it seems, just a temporary one. Makes a lot of sense. Let Glory get a reset. And we have to comment on the fact that Victory's victoried it. Might come back to it if Kuriko gets caught, but I think he'll go the right way. Ooh, let's find out. Kuriko is on this red buff. He's in so much trouble. The Slicing Maelstrom will get the kill. Lisa, well, saw the kill, but didn't get an assist. But that is a very easy kill onto the FTV jungler. Very well done here for Percent.
That is, and Percent, they've essentially sacrificed...
Oh, and the package used to get up to the top lane. Does Glory want to get this kill onto Rika?
No. That package is just,
it's just getting there.
Clear the way, stop the tower push. Because Percent has committed they've recognize we are weak topside. We are not getting through this Renekton anytime soon. Commit to the bot side. Tato's, you've spent your teleport. Make some use of it. Invade this jungle. The control wards are all on the bot side for Percent.
It's very dark on the top side for Percent.
Meanwhile, it's top side for FTV. They've split the map, which currently is which is turning out to favor Percent, it feels like. Even though FTV does have this gold lead basically through the top lane.
Yeah.
So it's basically all on the top lane.
Yeah, it is.
Because
it's literally all on the top lane.
It's all on the top lane. It's about a K and it's all in Rika.
Yeah. So I'm about to ask you a question that might end your analyst career. I'm going to ask you to comment on mid lane itemization. What do you think of Luden's Azir? Straight up Ludens.
So I know that the Nemesis thing is if you're taking Ludens, you just don't know how to manage your mana, yada yada yada. I like it on.
We've got a fight here. You might have a chance to have a think, as Kuriko has been kicked back, and no, it's just a disengage. Continue to make your point.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Thought that was on my end. Bloody hell. As Vinnie does go to answer his door. Sorry, we do obviously cast from home. And it's not because of coronavirus, it's because we're poor. And we can't afford a studio. But that's okay. Continue.
So I like it on the side on Victory because it's Victory. It's not so great. He's not so great. And also it is just it's a nice early-ish spike. You get that extra damage. It's not as you don't get the consistency early, but you don't really need it. It looks like you're just trying to
Tato just dies. Okay. I look away for half a second, and Tato's dead.
Yeah, Rika just straight up. He's built his book. He's just diving him 1v1 on the tower.
Glory could get the counter kill if he gets a big one. No, misses the big one. I think this is it. He'll get away now.
He has as soon as the Valkyries are.
Very close there. Rika gets away by the hair on his chinny chin chin.
And I mean, that's just.
And it's another dragon as well.
Oof. I mean but the attention to upside onto Rika, trying to chase a return. Means that Kuriko is just able to sneak away that dragon, and keeping those away from Percent is extra good.
I actually really like the way FTV is doing this. They've got this massive lead topside, but they're not putting any more resources into it, right? They don't need to. Rika can't win this matchup harder, right? He's already won it about as hard as you can. So don't send your jungler up there. Don't rotate your mid laner up there. Rotate them to the bot side, because you know that Percent have to send people up to deal with the Renekton. I really like how it's pretty basic, but, we're talking about FTV. I'm glad to see it.
I think you could you could absolutely be winning this harder, because you saw there, he kills Tato on the turret, then he has to run all the way back to his. If Kuriko was up there and it was a 2v1 dive, you get away with basically no damage taken, and you can take that tower, maybe even pressure the inhib. Glory will come up, but because he comes up so much faster than the rest of his team to help him, you might even be able to just kill him upon arrival. Maybe it goes 1-for-1 in that case. Maybe it goes wrong, but you could possibly just shut him down.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because you don't have to commit all that much.
Ooh, but Glory with a very aggressive package here. Thankfully, can Valkyrie back out after he takes a fair bit of that Varus damage? Yase in the middle of the enemy team. The teleport's been used, and they have to back off before the big crocodile arrives. They do manage to get out, though, so they burn Rika's teleport for just a few ultimates in the package.
Yeah,
just
and Aquino played that quite well. Yase came in. His immediate target was protected by the Black Shield, and then the ultimate.
Oh, Victory's been caught. Glory gets knocked away, though. This is pretty well played by the Azir, and he gets out of there. Very well done by Victory, and the mid lane's been cracked open. A very good passage of play here for FTV, as they should get this inner. Pressure
on the top side from Rika. You said you don't need to commit resources, and that's what FTV is doing. Rika is, you can't really face him 1v1 as proven. Now it gets to the hard part of trying to actually crack the base. We're probably going to look towards
I think he moves bot now. I think he just goes to bot now.
Probably, yeah. You probably just send him bot, and then you play the Baron dance.
Yeah.
Try and split the map.
The way I'd like to see FTV play
them
this
apart.
Is pretend your Renekton's a Yorick. Just don't go near him. Seriously, that's the best way to play with a Yorick. Is your Yorick should never be within 5,000 units of. Okay, that's the whole map. 1,000 units of your team. You just don't get near him.
Unless it's a gang. Yeah,
unless it's a gang. But you pretty much just leave him in a solo lane, and I think that's what they should do with this Renekton. He doesn't need to team fight. He can just sit in the bot lane and say, if you want to try and team fight my team, they have enough disengage tools with an Azir and with a Morgana to get away, and I'm going to take your base. So you send two people for me and fight a 4v3, or you do nothing.
Yeah, it's much less. The only problem is the best form of engage FTV has is that Shurima Shuffle. So if they decide to send Glory or whatever, or if they send multiple people to fight Renekton, FTV can't really force that 4v3.
Yeah,
so that's why I think maybe doing the sort of the G2 sort of play where you just send someone to shadow just sit behind Rika for a bit while he pushes looks alone. They send two people down. Then it becomes a 2v2 in that lane, and you just smash them and win it, or you just 2v1 if they don't.
Yeah, that's not a bad play if Percent can execute it, right? Because the thing about that's
what FTV should be doing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. FTV with
have your Renekton up there.
Yeah, sorry. It's not super easy to pull that play off. The play itself isn't hard, but the vision control to execute it can be a little bit difficult. And this is a promotion tournament. So we'd have to say... The thing is that even with the lacking engage, you can just start Baron.
Yeah, you can start Baron. That is true. You can force them to come to you with Baron. With dragons, because this dragon will be soul point for FTV.
It's a big one too,
and it's a mountain drake. If from this point, if Rika has enough damage with these two items, he can just build full tank from here on out essentially. And with a mountain drake, that's a lot.
The scent does look like they want to look for this one. 5,000 health on the dragon. Chains of Corruption is thrown out and missed, but look at all the damage on Tado. He now can't initiate. They need to delay this. He can be and get teleport with the movement speed, but there's a Dark Binding landing. 1,800 health on the dragon. There's no way Percent can do anything about this. Oh my god, everything missing on Victory. This is an absolute shocker. From Percent. They have absolutely smacked it off the side of the boot and sent it out of bounds on the full. That was rubbish.
And Tado, he's just standing in front of FTV. They set themselves up for the front to back. Tado's just on the front. He's not a tank. He's a cannon. So he just eats a little bit of poke from Victory's Q, from Lisa's arrows, and he just falls apart. Glory did not have the package.
Ooh, but Glory has the package now and uses it immediately. There's the flank finally from the cannon, but it's not good enough. He's gone on to Rika, and look at all the damage he's taking, but Glory is going left and right with the rockets, and Percent is winning a fight they should never be winning. Ooh, not a good kick there by Jase. Can he get out to the lantern? He certainly can. Another piercing arrow onto Shine. Does Percent want to just take what they've got and back off? I think that's the wise decision, and they do. So Percent get a few kills that perhaps they shouldn't have.
Yeah, and you see the issues with this lethality virus. Once Victory was the pick, Victory is the consistency. Victory dies, Police is able to chunk out pretty much everyone. Rika almost kills Tato 1v1, but everyone else is chunked out by Police, but there's no ability to get the last bit of health.
Yeah.
The only point of health that matters is the last. That is something that is the key issue, and it doesn't happen for this virus build, which is why I don't really like it. I understand its strengths, but
I think it's good
but you see here,
when you have a good Azir player. Like, what is Victory doing there?
I mean, he's pressuring. He just doesn't respect the package and the Thresh coming in from the side, and that means there's nothing left for them.
Yeah.
Aquino just dies to the poke from Glory, and so, I mean, Yase kind of cooks it for them there with the kick.
Just a bit. He really cooked that one.
Be free, my friend. But yeah, so you see how Percent wins. Pick off Victory, and there should not be enough damage to follow through. In theory, obviously there is. Actually, wow, there's still only 1,000 gold. Okay, it's closer to 2, but that is not a lot of growth in the past, 10 minutes. And that's basically negligent. They're starting the Baron now.
It goes down very quickly.
It will go down very quickly.
Ooh, Shine is very far away. This was well timed by FTV. They might just get a free Baron. Teleport being used by Kennen. Can he flash over and go straight in? No, Baron secured. Rika's zoning them out. They need to find a kill or two on the back of this, or it's just a pure loss.
It's a Baron and a teleport down for Percent, and you see the strengths of FTV compared to Percent. Percent has some strong players, but they are a young team. They're a very new roster. They don't have anything, and this apparently happened somewhere in the earlier replay, and where Shine dies, and
I didn't
why
notice
he's so far away. Neither did I. That probably happened during the replay of the pick onto Victory, but so you see it's FTV playing the map better rather than playing the champions better, and that is the sign of a more experienced team in the higher league versus a team of basically
most rookies. Yeah, they've got one or two players that Tado is Taurus, who has got main league experience, but nowhere near as much as Rika, or most of the FTV. Oh, these Aphelios ults have been shocking. Come on, Shine. This is looking
whiffs that. And
this is looking like some week 1 LPL Aphelios.
I don't even think you get anything even if that lands. You just maybe delay it half a second. So just ended up wasting it. It's a good team fighting it's a better team fight ultimate than a pick ultimate. And at this point you don't really pick too well.
No, not at all.
So FTV, I was praising their team play before, but they're kind of lacking the vision control on this. They're actually now starting to clear it out, so I'll rescind that point. But they are setting up, they're controlling this dragon area, and I don't think you just delay the mid lane push long enough, you can happily trade Mountain Soul for that mid lane outer turret.
Really? I don't know about that. I think they need to fight for this dragon. But Tado, once again, has been caught. Oh, sorry, I know what you mean from the FTV side of it, but we'll come back as Lisa is very, very low. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment. Make that a 2-for-1. Glory is trying to get the damage done. But Tado, this cannon, has done nothing. He hasn't altered in a team fight yet. And now, Jase wants to go forward, but that is Mountain Soul secured.
And
Oh.
yeah, this Kennen counter pick, it was picked as in the first rotation 4%, having seen the Renekton first pick, and he does not play, and it has not done nothing. He got ganked once, and then he lost lane from there and did not gain anything back. And that just hasn't worked.
It's been
It's not
all the
worked
top
at
lane.
all.
This has been a battle of two top laners this game. Kuriko's also been playing very well, but let's have a look at this replay. Yep, look at Tado. He's dead before he presses a button.
Yeah, and they are able to kill the Elise, and that means they have the ability to sort of, there's the chance for the steal, but Rika's just huge. He just walks into what was actually like 2 or 3 of them and just like, you can't get through here.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I'm a big crocodile, big saltwater croc, and you're not doing anything.
Boy, I'll just stun you up, and that's what happens.
Yep. Absolutely, yeah, no question. It was very one-sided, that fight. There's not much that... Don't do that. You can't just quietly quote the room like that.
Oh, I've been wanting to ever since I saw it was called Lisa.
Aquino has been caught out. He manages to flash away though, and Tado once again takes all the damage in the world. He presses R, but it doesn't do much. Victory will get that first kill, and this should be the end of it all, as Glory is on about 100 health. Shine trying to get something done, but he's got pretty rubbish guns for the situation. And this should be FTV pushing in. This will be an easy in him. Do they want to go for the game? I think they will, and I think they'll get it.
I think you can. It is a risk with these two champions up. Corki looks like he has. No, he doesn't have the package. So
yep.
and he's just going to die.
Glory's going to get caught. He definitely doesn't have any package.
And so this should be it. There are death timers are kind of small, but that should be fine with 5-man strong.
Yeah,
Shine can't do anything. Shine just dies.
Yep. And with room quotes used, right now, watching Percent is like watching Tommy Wiseau's gaming YouTube channel, which is a real thing. Because that was a pretty shocking performance. And FTV pick up game 1.
And you see the experience coming through that, and that's all that was. It was pure experience out of FTV. There was nothing, especially in the top lane, nothing that Percent was able to do. And Percent was able to keep the game reasonably close, at least in gold.
Yeah, but
and that was mostly through the jungle, that was through the mid lane, but it wasn't enough to overcome that massive difference in top lane pressure.
Yeah, not even close.
So if you're Percent, put YT in. YT looks a lot better. I'm pretty sure he can play a lot safer lanes. I think the gap. Or maybe just don't pick Kennen.
Yeah, pick something that's a bit safer. Yeah, make him play Ornn. Like, Ornn is open.
Make him play Aatrox. Make him not play Kennen. Something so easily just...
But regardless, we will find out what they'll play in about 5 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're always surprised by how much support a tournament like this gets on our channel. So thank you for being here. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to bring you Game 2 of Percent taking on FTV. See you then, guys.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Game 2, this very important elimination match. It's me for the pre-game together with Vinnie. Vinnie, what do you think after the first game?
I was actually very impressed by Victory. He played a lot better than I expected him to. And overall, FTV just played the map. They had just out macroed. They didn't need to, except in the top lane where Rika just kind of walked all over Tado, who did not do a thing, and it all just after that fell apart in the top lane. So I think it partially, a big part of it comes down to that draft and the Kennen lock-in, but other than that, it was just not good from that top lane. And that was the strength that FTV needed to just push to just drag them around the map. And then it all falls apart from there.
Yeah, just realized I did something very dumb and couldn't hear you, so now we should be fine again. Sorry for that.
Do I need to repeat myself?
So yeah, now I can actually hear you, but I'm sure what you said was very, very smart. I was
It was very rudimentary. It's just Victory played good, Rika played good, Tato bad.
Rika impressed me big time, definitely. So the Cannon counterpick, I think, has to go. Not only because Cannon is actually not a counterpick into Renekton. As far as I know, a lot of top laners actually say Renekton wins after a few levels. But also because they need a front line for their two AD carries, right? They picked Corki and Aphelios, a very strong composition in itself, if you actually provide the front line for them. That Lee Sin and Cannon and Thresh are not a front line. So I'd like to see kind of the same plan again for Percent, and maybe pick up a little bit more of a tanky champion. I know Tado is not known for playing tanks, but he can at least go for a bruiser, right?
Yeah, he definitely could at least pick up the Aatrox, and their response is just ban away the Renekton.
Fair enough.
The first pick Varus for police, that feels so wrong.
Yeah, worked wonders in the first game though.
I mean, it did it. They lost the bot lane quite convincingly, I thought.
Yeah, I'd argue that's more an Aquino though. Aquino kind of ran it down.
Yeah, Aquino did run it down, but this then does sort of, I think, again, pigeonhole you into that sort of, you know what your mid lane is going to be. And this early lock LeBlanc, I guess sort of to dissuade the AD carry type mid laner, maybe push for that Azir. Not the Azir, like Alessandro type pick.
Yeah, I think it's a preemptive counter into Azir to have mid priority already. So they want to go with a little bit of a different style, not counter scaling anymore. This time around, they want to attack the early game. And they've now picked a super, super strong mid 2v2, right? LeBlanc, Rek'Sai. That's scary. And we know Victory is prone to die, dying a few times in lane. So this could be a nice strategy to attack and maybe put your best player on the carry champ.
And this is another route you can take with the Varus. Just go full in on poke. I don't like it too much, but are we just going to see Aphelios not picked?
Yeah, that's super surprising.
There you go. Not picked, not banned. So
I mean, Varus, for my games with the VCS boys, I know Varus can be flexed into support position, so you never know. Oof. You never know.
So can Zoe. So can Lee Sin if I'm playing it, but you know, they picked up on the Percent's picked up on the idea of a full poke comp and banning away the Karma and an Ornn ban away.
Yeah, I think Ornn makes a lot of sense against if you play Varus, poke Varus and Zoe, right? You never hit a point where you get the damage to kill the Ornn. So just banning away the one tank Tado can probably play, because everyone can play Ornn, right? So yeah, I like this ban.
But I've not seen it.
Yeah.
So, I understand the pick from a compositional point of view, but from a player point of view,
seriously ban Morgana, man.
I don't. The Morgana ban
after that first game
may be interesting, but we're gonna see, I assume, a support pick here for Lisa.
It's actually super scary to pick support here, in my opinion. I think you should go support last pick, because if you pick something easy like Braum or something that can be countered, yeah, there's the Braum. Okay, I'm a prophet, apparently.
Yeah.
Now you have the freedom to go Nami, you can go Zyra, you can go Lulu, whatever you like, basically. Lulu is actually not super great with poke Varus, but I'd really like to see.
I understand the counter pick potential, but the Braum's the obvious pick, because if in a poke comp, Braum does so
Bard
much.
Even.
Bard's banned.
It's banned, yeah, right. Of course, against Lisa. And Senna is another interesting option.
Senna as a legitimate support. That should be interesting. I do understand why they want the support pick there, though. It's to protect Tado, who is not good enough to stand up to a Rika who gets to counterpick.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Oh, yes, Rika Poppy, let's go.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
We've seen time and time again how strong support counterpick can be. I mean, LEC Finals basically was won with support counterpick alone. So, yeah, I think it's already shows a big weakness if you have to go support to protect your top laner. And now the enemy team just say, okay, whatever, we'll just pick Poppy. And they actually opt into Aatrox, which is not the greatest matchup into Poppy. Poppy actually wins this top lane after Bramblevest, in my opinion.
It's a relatively even matchup in my experience, but it feels really bad to leave your top lane to counterpick just to give him Aatrox.
Yeah, indeed.
And I mean, if the idea is if you pick Aatrox in that fourth spot, Rika could play, Camille could play whatever into it and demolish it. And the fact that you have to worry about that feels so bad.
Yeah, last pick Aatrox is something we never see, because he's really more of a blind pick top laner when you don't want to show your hand already at the start of the draft, right? You just pick Aatrox and he can go wherever. Late game, he can be a little bit of a damage threat. He can be a little bit more tanky, but yeah, last pick Aatrox is really not the greatest.
And the Poppy pick, it should, in theory, do a lot in the a lot to help protect these the poke threats from on the side of FTV.
Yeah,
because you can block LeBlanc, you can block Rek'Sai's entry, you can block.
And it's very easy against Rek'Sai.
It's very easy against Rek'Sai and even LeBlanc. LeBlanc's travel, like when she's dashing, when she's going in, that's easily predictable. I mean, the blink back is usually the more annoying bit.
I think the blink back can't be prevented.
No, I mean, you can't because that's the blink,
right?
Yeah. But
yeah, Rek'Sai is basically not a champion anymore.
It's a very good preventative measure rather than you can't get away in the case of LeBlanc. But yeah, you can completely shut down this Rek'Sai if you get on top of him.
So I'm going to head off and let Everyday step in again. But I want to say I really like FTV's draft. I think they've won this draft pretty big time, and I expect them to win this game pretty easily.
I think pretty much the same, unless we see some shenanigans out of LeBlanc, which could always happen.
Can happen, of course. It's Glory. Yeah.
It's Glory. It's LeBlanc. I have problems with that champion. Let's not worry.
And with the loss of Yulwei, that does mean the return of me. Sorry, everyone. But Vinnie does need a play-by-play to back him up. Once we do hit the Rift, which we're still just waiting a little bit on, thank you very much, Yulwei, for coming and giving us your thoughts on the two drafts. I think they're very interesting. I kind of like the Varus Zoe combo, because you just don't fight. You don't really have to 5v5, right? You just constantly go for picks. You never take a fair fight because you're constantly chunking them out.
But you lose a lot of objective control.
True.
Having the extra, damage threat of the Senna means you can sort of make up that damage a little bit. But it's still, and I guess Senna's damage is relatively consistent. It's just not on the level of an attack speed Varus or a Cogmore or anything like that. But so it's actually that Senna lock-in does sort of round out that extra damage you need to complement the pick comp. But I mean, it's a Zoe and a Varus. If you land both hits onto one person, they should not be alive anymore.
They should certainly be made deadened.
Unless it's Braum with his shield up, they should not exist much longer.
Yeah, and I mean, the Braum is a very big deal here, because even if you manage to hit the long-range Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto, say, Shine, who is your definite number one target, you can obviously just hop over and put up the big door to try and stop a lot of that damage, and that's a pretty good tactic. But you can only really do that once around a fight because it will chunk Braum very low, even through the door. Yeah. And, that's not great. Fun fact, canonically, Braum can hold a battleship back with his door. Because in the cinematic, holding up the avalanche in the cinematic is essentially like a battleship rolling down a hill.
I mean, Braum made his name literally punching through a mountain, didn't he? So
yeah, they've changed his lore a little bit.
Okay. Oh, unfortunate.
It used to be he wasn't technically real. He was a legend. He was like a folktale.
Yes.
Now he's actually real.
I like to believe he's sort of on the Orn sort of situation in the lore, where he's a demigod of sorts.
He's actually...
I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
No, he's not. He's actually just a really big guy. He's actually... They got rid of that. He's not a demigod. He's just a big guy. Which I think is actually... I actually think that's really cool. He's just a big dude.
He's just a beefy fella.
Yeah, he's just a big lad.
But
let's focus on what people care about, which is, of course, the in-game.
Yeah. But with Braum being a big part of the counter to the poke composition, you can, of course, completely deny his ability to interact if free kick and land a nice keeper's verdict.
Yeah.
Just to knock him away, and then it's open season at that point. The next tankiest member is Taro, and he will not be and he is tanky through healing. If he's being hit from 2 screens away, he's not gonna be able to heal it back, is he?
It's
Especially
very
once
true.
a Morello's comes through, once an Executioner's comes through.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, that Keeper's... is it Keeper's Verdict? Yeah. Templar's Verdict is Heroes of the Storm. Keeper's Verdict. You're a bit of a Poppy player. You play her a lot more than I do, for sure. She actually seems really good here. Denying Aatrox the easy repositions from his Nike swooshes. Yep. Oh, but hang on. Police is in a lot of trouble as he's been hit by that Braum passive, and that's just going to be a level 1 kill, and I think it's going to be a double. They didn't respect the Braum. Aquino and Police have absolutely beansed it up. There is baked beans all over the bot lane, and it's a double kill for Shine here at 2 minutes.
And these 2 champions have some of the strongest level 1s in the game. The extra damage on the MF passive, especially if you're able to alternate between the targets like in the bot lane, and the concussive blows. Please, just stepping so far forward.
That's so disrespectful. Good play by Lisa.
Using his Q for damage rather than healing up the stunned, please. You're just left to die, and that's a double kill to the MF really early.
And she started shield. She didn't even have a Doran's Blade, and they get a double kill at level 1.
And now Yase's hanging around. If Police steps even a centimeter out of line, he will just fall down again. However, Yase spent a lot of time.
If he dies again, though, this bot lane is completely over. He's already used his teleport, so the teleport kind of made it so that dying that early wasn't as bad. Obviously, it's not good, but it's recoverable. Okay, Yase's probably spent a bit too much time here now.
Yeah, he's absolutely spent.
He's got camps that need to be clear. The one thing here is he can hang around here until now because the crab just spawned. Yeah. Ooh, Aquino. She's dead. There's no flash. The W lands. Can he get away to a jungler? I don't know. He's very low. Can Jase get the tunnel forward? He definitely can. Can he get enough damage? Lisa's come around. Are they going to try and turn it around onto Kuriko? Teleport called from the top lane. Jase flashing away. Kuriko takes a lot. There's a double up, doing a lot. The keepers, the W from the Poppy, doing a lot to stop down the dashing as Tado is here and low. Kuriko goes down. This is bad. Police again in a lot of trouble, but they won't be able to go under the tower. It's a 2-for-1.
The keepers,
1-for-1. 2-for-1. 2-for-1.
Yeah, the W from the Poppy was not actually did next to nothing. He wasn't able to. Yase had already basically gone down. He had his flash at that point, but all it ended up doing was I I guess it helped secure the kill on Lisa, but overall, with that teleport, it's still another 2-for-1, and it's just pure disaster. It's still a really bad outlook. But the top lane comes out even with both top laners getting a kill. I think maybe there might have been a slight shutdown, but getting 3 because he had 3 assists, I don't think so.
No, he wouldn't have had a shot.
No. So and
it's not a good situation here for FTV. And the kill went to Poppy. Then, like, okay, sure, that's nice for the top lane. Got the Balmy Cinder very early, but it's not really where you want your gold. And it doesn't help this disaster of a bot lane. Look at the items in bot lane. Kuriko and Tado are brawling, but Kuriko with a good little ward hop, and now Tado's in some trouble as he had absolutely no one nearby. Why was he contesting this crab while his mid laner was back and his jungler was bot side? I think he has to go for the execute, and I don't know if they're going to let him, as Victory with the fake flash coming to try and find him. That was the real flash. This is a Hex Flash Zoe. That's pretty great. Now Tado's been tagged up. He's still trying to run down in the bot lane. Shine has gotten another kill, but we'll get a replay of that. He's got the double kill, in fact. So Tado somehow still alive, and he finally goes down, but that's another double kill in the bot lane. 4-0-1 MF at 5 minutes.
And at this point, I think, please, you almost have to pivot. I think you pivot away. You have from the build. I know your runes aren't set up for it, but you need, I guess, I don't think this lethality build will do anything for you at this stage. I think you're better off just trying to scale, I suppose, because you are not winning the early game, so you're not going to win the... So your early game build is not going to do a thing.
Oh, Rika in some trouble. Should be able to use the Steadfast Presence to deny the Rek'Sai, and does, but there's no flash, so this... Oh, no, never mind, he's caught. See you, Poppy.
There was also no flash.
Yeah, there was no flash.
On Rika, if a single slow had landed, that's all they needed.
Yeah,
being pulled back on the chains was the big issue. But you don't want to use your speed up.
Part of the problem that's kind of developed was that while they were chasing Tado, that massive silly chase, that meant that the percent bot lane was like, oh, well, we know exactly where their mid laner and their jungler is. Let's just kill the bot lane.
They just leapt on top of
like, why wouldn't you?
Leapt on place, and this is barely... This feels unrecoverable at this point.
I don't know how you come back from a 4. Like, look at... I said it before, but we got distracted because there was another fight. Look at the items. It's 3 long swords to a BF sword. And look at the mid lane. Victory's been caught, and zip, zap, zoop. Glory gets another kill. Well, actually, it's his first kill, but it's another kill for percent. And, well, FTV, what's going on?
We saw last game, it was, for the most part, only Rico who was ahead or, like, beating out their opponent individually. And again, the same's happening here, and they were able to come back through macro. So FTV isn't 100% out of it yet in that sense, but it's hard to play good macro. Or rather, if you have a 202 Rek'Sai and a 401 MF at less than 10 minutes, it's pretty hard to play bad macro, short of diving the fountain at this point. Yeah. So... It's going to take a lot of finagling of the map and the waves for FTV to really come into this. And Rika is on a tank. Poppy is a very good tank early on, and Rika is good on Poppy, but it's still a tank. It's not as easy to carry on a tank as it is.
Yase looking for the mid lane. Victory has been caught once again. He's been hit by everything, manages to flash away. Actually, it was a fake flash, but there's the Rek'Sai ult going into the swimming pool with Zoe and giving her a chomp. And she is gone once more. Jase on very low health, but we'll be able to get away, I'm sure. Actually, ooh. No, Kuriko's... That was smart, put down a ward just to make sure. And Kuriko was clearing the wave, so... That Rek'Sai will get away safely. And it is a 7-kill lead at 9 minutes, 4%. Actually, I can't count. 3k gold. This is a bit of a disaster for FTV. GG, go next.
it's a little bit GG go next. But like imagine if Rika was on like an Aurelia or something of that caliber, you could see the carry potential that Rika would have. Right? On a Poppy, you can make favorable fights with your ultimate. You can deny a lot of what Glory and Yase want to do with your W. But in the end, especially the longer this game goes on, the longer the game goes on, the worse Puppy gets. Puppy tends to peak at about 15 to 20 minutes. Beyond the 25-minute mark, she's just a not quite as tanky tank as you would like.
Yeah, it's very true. We have seen Rika pick up Trinity Force. It is something he does on Poppy. So who knows? Could still carry.
Honestly, at this point, that might be the best option they have.
I mean, the point of a tank is to buy space and time for your damage dealers, right? Who's dealing damage on this team? Because it's not the bot lane. So yeah, why not? At some point, you've got to pop your own wings and go in as the big boy. I don't know if we're quite there yet. We'll find out, as Percent is just taking free tower plates in the bot lane. Bot lane is over. I would almost say you need to call a swap or something.
They needed to call a swap a lot sooner, I think. With Kuriko picking up this with Kuriko soloing off the Rift Herald. I mean,
Tado getting dove, pops the wings. There's the steadfast presence. That was not very well executed here by FTV. This is shocking, and they're lucky that victory is coming up, or this could have been a 2v1 by Tado.
And Rika missed, and that was a simple judge from Rika on how far the dash would carry.
Yep.
Did not get the stun. That just meant.
But Tado has come back out for some reason, despite knowing victory was there. And they did a really bad dive, but he's just given them another chance. And Rika gets the kill. That was horrible by Tado. Bring back LL.
Yase makes a great move to just get there earlier. To get down to the bot lane, help the already pushing Shine get the first tower gold, because the Rift Herald in the top lane is able to cheat back that tempo that they lost from that first dive. And they're going to get a second charge off, which is actually good value out of Shelly.
Yeah.
But again, you're looking at this, and I mean, they're going to end up moving this vision, because look how lit up that bot side jungle on the side of FTV is. You can just... It is owned by Percent. It is not FTV's jungle.
Yeah. Percent has 3 jungle quadrants. You see, look at Jase. He's just chilling.
He's just chilling. They've swapped, and he's still just chilling.
Akino's in trouble. Akino is in so much trouble. What an overextension. You are a level 5 center, and you just get deleted by the Sand Shark. Akino, this has been a bit of a rough one to watch.
And you've had no right to that part of the jungle since about minute 5.
About Lisa, 5 minutes. A little bit caught, trying to get to the wall to flash over, but Rika is heading that off, but won't get there in time. Lisa should escape, but now Shine could be in some trouble, is overextended, but the dash comes in, not into a wall, so Shine can walk away. Do they want to turn it? No.
No. You definitely...
Turning
there
it would
are
have
3
been
members up there.
Turning would have been better.
Sure, you're 401. Sure, you've got your Essence Reaver, but it's a bit special if you try and turn there. That's how you get FTV back into this game. I mean, quietly, Kuriko's been having an okay game for himself. He's got 100% kill participation. He's had about as good a game as you can hope for with not having a bot lane to work around. So again, that it feels like I don't want to count out FTV yet, because Shine and like the rest of Percent have made some questionable moves in the past, and FTV for the most part has shown they know how to play around a fed Rika quite well. But
this is a bit of a trouble here for Lisa. He goes golden and hops away. He's fine. Okay.
But oh my god.
Police gets trucked. And the bullet time comes out just to try and get the kill. Can't quite. So Shine will back off.
That is a if we were still in the days where MF built lethality, that was probably a dead place.
Yep.
But here we are. We don't do that anymore, and
Oh, there is a bit of an engage here. Rika's looking for something. The Templar's verdict does come out, as so do the Aatrox wings. Lisa very low and does go down. Rika trying to get away. Very low health. Can they find him? They can. Jase will get that one, and they'll get a second onto Kuriko. Percent is winning this out, but Tado needs to be careful. Can still take a lot of damage. The Varus is very behind, but one thing about lethality Varus, that first item is really cheap. So he does have the Umbral
really
Glaive.
Cheap. And you do get, and it does still do a lot of damage in the early game.
He's scary at this point.
So if he's allowed to do his damage, which he was able to after teleporting back in from the near one-shot from Shine, and it was like, and Shine had used his ultimate, so FTV were like, this is our chance, this is the best we're going to get. In the end, they were only able to get Braum, especially because the early flash from Shine, the ultimate from Lisa to defend, to help defend, to knock up the Lee Sin so he can't reposition and get that kick onto Shine into the team. It means there's just nothing. At that point, they're running out of frontline. They can't get onto the damage dealers. And most of that was a 3v5. Then Tado and Glory arrive and just delete Kuriko and Rika.
One of the saving graces here for FTV is that there's no objective for 2 minutes, except for towers. Just let this mid tower go. You're never going to stop it, as we have another replay. We missed this. Apparently Victory just got solo killed. Okay, Glory just murdered him. Sure, why not?
Yep.
And the mid tower is cracked, but the point I was trying to make is that there is no objective for a couple of minutes, which means that because Shine is going to hit level 11, have that rank 2 ult, you should be able to get Police to level 11 by the time of the next fight. So he'll still be a level or 2 down, but he'll at least have rank 2 ultimate, which will be equal. So you have a chance to have ADC, not parity, but as close to parity as you're getting with a 5-0.
And both these ADCs are at, and both the carry threats of Victory and Police are at level 9, so their main poke skills are fully leveled. They're not going to get stronger as experience goes on in terms of that bit of damage, really. But it's rough. It's
look
hard
at the
to
gold
say
difference.
How does FTV get back in?
Look at the gold difference. 3.2k.
Oof.
That's horrific.
Oof.
Oh, this is really rough. The only lane they have a lead in is the top lane. And it's a Poppy versus an Aatrox. It's one item to one item. They're not that scared. Aquino takes so much damage from Glory, and that's going to be the fight. The knockaway does come in. Tado's going to struggle to get back into this fight. Lisa with a very good ult, knocking a few people up, but it looks like Percent can't quite confirm the fight. Tado playing the secret service to block that Zoe damage. Ugh.
Yeah.
This is hard.
I guess he's going Triforce, because that's a fade on Poppy.
Yeah. That'll
building Black Cleaver
Black
not
Cleaver
sound
Poppy
a good
is
idea.
That's pretty int. I mean, I actually don't think the Triforce is a bad decision. You're not likely to win this game, but you may as well go for Hail Marys.
Honestly, at this point,
damage Poppy, why not?
I like it because it helps you get through towers faster, and I think your best bet is to play a very similar game to what you did on the Renekton last time. Just be in a side lane and punch the towers, make them come to you, as otherwise they're gonna lose. They're gonna eventually lose the base. Granted, if at this point, if Percent just wanted to harder force a 5v4, they'd probably win.
And
but
the other problem,
there isn't a huge ton of engage on Percent side, so they can't do that as effectively as they would like.
The only other problem with that is, unlike last game, most members of Percent can 1v1 Rika. And they might not be able to kill him because of the Keeper's Verdict, because they can just knock him away, but you can stop him. As Glory has found Police, does so much damage in about 1 second, just from a few autos and a Q. I know we want to talk about how FTV can get back into this one, and we don't like signing off on a game before the Nexus explodes, but this one's looking pretty doomed.
It's pretty doomed. You're right, but on the sideline point, I think it's very hard for them for a percent, unless there's multiple players. It's actually super hard for them to fight Rika. Because if Glory tries to do anything, you block the distortion and then smack them into a wall when they're grounded. Similar sort of thing with Tato, but of course you can always just send 4 people and the Rika's just sort of he's not that far ahead.
Well, they're trading evenly at the moment. An inner for an inner. They are calling them back now. Rika with a good knock away on that Braum. This opens up the chance for Zoe damage, but Yase's just charged forward. They just want to kill Aquino. They know he's easy money. He's a sack of gold. A little bit of an overcommit, though, as Yase's in a lot of trouble. And he does go down, but it's a 1-for-1 as Glory found police. I don't even know where that was happening. It looks like it was just outside the fountain. That's how deep Glory went. But he got the job done. The base is broken, and here comes the big teleport play. Rika wants to be the big man on campus. They will be able to find Tato. I think he'll just be a sacrifice for the team. The rest of the percent should run away. And how did Shine get a counter kill there? What the hell was that damage?
Just a single Q. I'm not sure if he got the double up.
He couldn't have. He would have gotten the love tap, but he couldn't have gotten the double up. Nothing would have died.
Well, I mean, as in the bounce, because does the bounce do on it?
Yeah, the bounce does more damage if you kill the first target. Does a lot more damage.
I know that, but it's just a lot of damage. It's just the ignite.
Please.
It's just the ignite. Uses the flash to dodge the chains, and the ignite still does it. Police is just so far behind. You have to say go next.
He's getting, and it's the sad thing is I don't think Police has played overly badly. He hasn't played great, but this has just been a shocker from Aquino.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what killed Kuroko there, to be perfectly honest.
It did a lot of damage.
It went from like a third of health to nothing in once. So yeah, it's looking pretty rough for FTV.
Yeah.
So how's that lore podcast?
I mean, that might be something I set up. There's a lot of new league lore because of the Legends of Runeterra stuff. And the guy that does power rankings made a new post, and I really like his post. He ranked Fiddle. Most of his post was just being very angry because you can't rank Fiddle because there's not enough information on him.
Yeah.
And down in the bot lane, we do have them going for Rika, and there's the Templar's verdict, and Poppy will say, "Thanks for coming, boys. I'll see you tomorrow." And she eats them away. And up in the top side, Glory a little bit caught out, but it's a LeBlanc. We'll go back to the distortion, doing a bit of Civ HD, gets the blast cone, and a good shot by Victory. We'll get the big shutdown. FTV getting a positive play
around Victory there basically helps secure that kill, but it's a little bit of something, which is better than nothing.
But that's a big shutdown.
It's a big shutdown onto Victory, who is at this point the only effective member. Oh, sorry, I forgot Rika.
But in the mid lane, Kuroko's been caught out. Can he get taken down? Not quite. Yase and Lisa trying to run away. Rika charging onto Shine. Finding this MF is really big, and Shine can't do much about it. There's the kiting. Is the bullet time ready to come out? It's used. Down goes Rika. He tried so hard. That was very well played by the Poppy, but it just isn't enough, as this should be the Cloud Soul being secured, unless there's a miracle, which there's not. Cloud Soul for F4%.
And Rika is bringing me back to my high school days, because in the end it doesn't even matter. And my stream decided to freeze, but there is not much good signs coming out from. There's nothing they can do. the pickup of the Cloud Soul, it's not the most effective Drake. They're kind of upset that they got the 2 best Drakes as the early Dragons percenter, but because in the end,
I think they'll take the movement speed.
Getting this soul, all this means is it means FTV has more time to plan out what they're doing next game. Because Gold Lead hasn't really grown that much.
If I may borrow a term from another esport, the rest of this game is the French pause. You know you've lost, but you just make it take as long as possible so you can talk about Game 3.
I have not heard that term before, and I really like that.
It was something G2. They weren't G2 at the time, but they were the players that are now G2. Counter-Strike used to do. They'd eco around.
French team.
Yeah, they were a French team. Yeah. So they'd eco around by nothing. So they're always going to lose the round, but they would intentionally make the round take as long as possible. So they used it as a timeout. Yeah. As Victory is dead, he'll be taking a timeout.
He's it's a little bit dead there, but
yeah, just a bit.
Not much we can do about that.
I mean, we're just waiting for this game to end. It's only a 6k gold lead, which is surprising. But
yeah, and I feel, and at this point, we're just waiting for the Baron to be started, which is right now.
Yep, trucking its way down.
Oh,
Tado playing. All right, Tado playing Gatekeeper does take a lot of damage, but should be able to heal it up by virtue of being Aatrox. As Rika tries to get a good Templar's verdict, but can't. Police is already dead, and all of FTV are melting away like a popsicle in the hot summer heat. They're gone. Only a little stick remains, and that's name is Victory, as he goes to try and clear the top wave. Only reason he's alive is he was dead before the fight started.
Yeah, so, there is nothing. There is nothing FTV can do at this point. They're gonna have very difficult time trying to kill the minions, and yeah, the game was all but lost at level 1, wasn't it? It just a 2v2 kill at level 1, just a 2v2 double kill at level 1,
and
it wasn't like a cheese invade or anything. It was just a simple pick. It was just a simple outplay in the bot lane with strength of champions. And yeah, that's it. I guess not trying to analyze this game.
There's not a lot of analysis to do, to be perfectly honest. It was just
you have to commend
wise men say that when MF is 4-0 at 6 minutes, she's gonna win.
Falls rushing.
Yeah, I mean, oh god. The one problem with me and you casting is we both go for those jokes. Yulwei wouldn't make that joke, so every time you do it, I laugh, and I'm like, God damn it.
Different cultures, I guess. Or rather, the same culture finally meeting up. But
I mean, how many Yulweis does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1, he's very efficient and doesn't like humor.
Yeah.
Tado goes down, but he'll be traded for an idiot.
Anyway, game's about to end.
There'll be one more team fight here. Victory does take a big chunk. And FTV doing their best. Aquino takes a quarter of his health from what looked like just a Braum ult. But there must have been something else in there. His first Nexus Tower has fallen. Percent don't want to screw around anymore. They want to get this game over. But with the respawn, they might have to go for the back off. They don't have Tado here. Unless they can find a good pick. Rika playing screen. Glory looking for it. Kuriko's so low. I think that'll give them the gate to the second Nexus Tower. But no minions. So they will back off.
I mean, you have to commend Percent. They played. As soon as they got the lead, they knew.
Oh, but here comes the bullet time, the Dawning Shadow, and I think this will be the Nexus exposed. Tado has arrived. He is zooming in. They're just going to try and focus the Nexus, and that will be game 2. 2%. and they bring it back to 1-1. We've got a bit more of a series on our hands here.
Yes, we do, but that was, I mean, you don't necessarily have to change too much from on the side of FTV, even though that loss was massive. Just don't give up 2 kills level 1 to an MF. That's a good start.
And to throw us out of this one, I'll be throwing you back over to the 2 Brain Boys. So I'll see you guys next game.
See you around. How you doing, Yulwei?
Hello. I heard you, by the way. I still need a Discord call. Very rude of you two. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
there was a game to cast. It was over 2 minutes, and then you had to fill 26 more minutes. Nice. But difference was big. I think it's time for Tiger to step back in, don't you think?
I think Tiger definitely could look to improve this.
I mean, you can't really do worse. I mean, you could probably even sub inside, and the bot lane wouldn't be as bad. So,
Froggy has support. Froggy as AD carry. I don't know. Sub in. Just fix. This bot lane's been rough. I think percent could also be looking to just happily look to put in YT, because it's not. I mean, because there was a chance for there was a small chance for FTV, and that was Rika, because he's been smashing this. He's been smashing the top lane, so maybe try YT and see if that goes any better. We can just try that, and I think these substitutions should probably happen.
Yeah, so, I think one last thing before we hit the pause. I also noticed how far Victory fell behind in experience in the mid game, where he was fine in laning phase. I think he died once to a gank, but he still was fine in trades. But then he just grouped up with Kurko all the time and was level 9 when Glowy was level 12. So what was going on there? I think he has to definitely stay in lane more. Because if everyone is just level 9, you just can't teamfight, even if your bot lane is already.
I sort of understand the sort of hesitance of trying to like be alone once percent has built that lead. The Rek'Sai was huge.
That's fair.
So if you're ever in a 1v2 at that point, you might as well just tab out and go make a sandwich or something, because you're not gonna get anything out of that.
Fair enough.
So I think that'll do us for now. We'll see you in the next game.
Just after the show. Be too long. Welcome back to Game 3. We are finally moving closer and closer to deciding which will be our 8th team in the next upcoming summer split. Of course, it's still a while away, but it's always exciting times when we look at the future teams of this league. And I mean, I think there's a clear favoritism in our community as to which team should promote, but we never know. Do you think there's a clear favorite now coming into Game 3?
I don't fully know if it's a clear favorite. I think again we can look at the first one and see the first game and see that there isn't necessarily a favorite team. We can just see that there are favored players so much. So I mean, there would be a good chance that I wouldn't be too unhappy if we saw FTV as an organization back in, but with a few more players that are from percent.
Looking at you, support in mid lane. Even Jase has actually been. Jase has been great. Yeah, I like Jase. He has impressed me.
And Shine's had decent performances, but we are into this pick and ban, and we're seeing we're seeing no change in rosters. They're just going, all right, we're mulligan that one. That never happened. Just you get another chance, okay? But we're seeing this Graves finally get through this pick ban. The LeBlanc taken away from Glory, and we're seeing Graves. Oh, Aquino is Tiger. Oh.
No.
No, of course, no. No, that doesn't.
Tiger and One Ground is the same person. I don't think so. Well, whatever. The support player is bad. We can definitely agree on that. If it's Tiger or not, it's a bad support player. But we go to Callista Tarek. So this one is much more bot lane focused. And after the last 2 games, I'm not sure I want to see Police and Aquino on Callista Tarek, honestly.
I mean, that said, I am much happier to see Police on Callista than I am on Varus.
That's true. Oh no! Oh my god, this draft.
This Elise, Aphelios, Irelia. This Irelia could, of course, be a flex in some.
Oh, imagine Tado playing Irelia, man.
But I think honestly, at this stage, if you're I think the ban strategy of the Thresh is not a good one. I think you just take away top lane picks and try and force that Irelia up into the top lane so Rika could just run it over.
Yeah, I think Lori on Irelia is actually a nice prospect, especially with Elise. Very strong mid lane 2v2. Of course, Irelia mid lane is not as strong anymore into mages. If you go Syndra, of course, banned. A strong laning mid laner. Even Azir can probably do fine into Irelia. So she is more played in the top lane, I'd say, in pro play, especially now after the Date of the Rune King changes, which you can't really build in the mid lane because it's too squishy and you don't fight against tanks. So yeah, I'd like to see the Irelia top lane, but then again, I don't want to see Tado Irelia. So
we see a little bit torn. Lock-in for Lisa. What do you think about this, Mr. Enchanter?
I'm a big fan of Zillion. I'm not sure if Zillion is really an enchanter. He's kind of an in-between champion. But yeah, I like Zillion a lot. I think Zillion Aphelios, we've seen them do magic. It was a G2 against, I think, Origin, right? Where they played late game Aphelios. Zillion Aphelios just used Red Gun, used Zillion speed up, and just ran in 1v5 and killed everyone because he's Aphelios and can do stuff. So this Zillion might just be mid lane as well, and we can go for support counter pick if they want to. Doesn't really make too much sense because they already know what the bot lane will be on the other side. So I expect this to be Lisa's champ, and Lisa is known for enchanters too, so it should be in his wheelhouse.
Set and Lucian as the solo laners for FTV, which
this comp has only gotten worse and worse.
AD, just pure physical damage.
So if you actually had a top laner playing for percent, you would just pick Ornn now and be unkillable. But sadly,
absolutely, they're stuck with Aatrox.
Oh my god, this is so horrible.
And you can see the hole in the top lane, 4%.
They have another top laner. Why don't they play Simon?
Completely demolished this. Ornn, Maokai, Anytech, Malphite.
Yeah.
Can Tado not
imagine Malphite? My god, imagine Malphite. This one. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, sorry. Of course, Simon's not on this team. Whitey, even Whitey is way better, man. I don't understand. Tado has been the worst player on this roster, I'd say, easily.
Far and away, I think.
Yeah.
Irelia will be happy. Irelia can just build an early Guardian Angel, I guess.
In isolation, I think the red side team composition is not bad. Top side is not my favorite, but I think in isolation they are fine. They have a lot to buy space for Aphelios, and then Zillion comes in to revive Aphelios. So it's basically Irelia, Aatrox, and Elise go in, disturb the enemy team, and Aphelios cleans up afterwards. So in isolation, I think the team composition is fine. But imagine a Malphite or an Ornn. It would just be draft victory immediately.
Absolutely.
And I don't even know what to say about FTV's comp. It's so bad.
this triple marksman comp has, I mean, it has a super fast Baron take. That I'll give it that.
Hey, nice.
But Corki, Azir,
Yeah. Corki is even a marksman, so if you want a good triple marksman, just please use the AP marksman.
Yeah, just...
Oh god, this Lucian last pick, man.
Where the set Lucian just completely threw the comp out the window. Yeah. And I mean,
especially also because Lucian into Aurelia is actually not that great. Aurelia still has her AD damage reduction, right? So you really don't want to play AD champs into Aurelia. No. I don't understand what was going through their minds.
It was
I guess Victory's champion pool is a little bit of an issue, but imagine Froggy with Galio here in this composition. Of course, Galio would lose lane, but still, your team fighting would be so much better.
But we saw Victory play Azir in game 1, and he played that.
Yeah.
He played it well. It wasn't the best Azir in the world, but he played it adequately. I just don't know.
It's a little bit of a shocker. I really don't know what to say about FTV's comp. And I mean, last game, we definitely called FTV's comp way better, and they lost in 2 minutes. So maybe it's time now for FTV to snowball out of control, maybe through bot lane. But yeah, it's hard to imagine them winning this one.
Maybe Tado just decides to live under Rika's turret and die there. I don't know. Maybe... I don't know what happens. All I do know is that you really have to question The Witcher and the rest of FTV's drafting
The Witcher.
Because that's... Do not toss a coin to that Witcher. He has not done a good job for FTV this game.
Absolutely not. No. And I think there's nothing for me to analyze about these comps anymore. Have fun analyzing the game states. I'll toss it over to you every day again, and we'll move into game 3.
Thank you. Yeah. You just need a Silas and, I don't know, a Braum or something to round out the beefy man comp. Tarek Top's fine. You're still missing a bot laner, but yeah. Apparently you're muted.
I forgot to unmute myself. Hi, guys. Was saying I like this comp. But I agree with Yulwei that the Corki over the Lucian. The Lucian doesn't make sense to me. Just play Corki. He's the same playstyle, but it just adds mixed damage, which just seems better. And obviously has explosive playmaking potential with the package, and it's just amazing scaling. That said, if FTV get a lead, I think they have a very good chance of snowballing out of control.
Yeah.
We know what happens if Graves gets ahead.
If FTV gets a lead, it doesn't actually make too much of a difference about the damage profile because there's no one, because there's no tank in any real sense of the word. Irelia is going to get vaguely tanky. Tado is going to get vaguely tanky on Aatrox, but they're not tanks. They're not going to be building around Ewans or anything. They're just going to. So eventually, they're going to just. Eventually, they're going to fall down.
I also think it's somewhat flawed to have the Taric here. Obviously, Kalista Taric's a fantastic lane, and that's why they've done it. As well, situation playing with their cards face up on the table. I don't think Percent can engage. Oh, they're just going to throw some poke. Sure, why not? Hit him with the crabs. Yeah. Really level 1, but it's not going to go anywhere. The Taric is a little bit flawed.
It's an improvement over last game's level 1.
That's very true. Well, we haven't quite gotten to where they would have entered a double kill, but I don't think it'll happen again. Bit of an invade on the top side. Kuriko pushing in here. They actually want to get onto Tado. He may have to flash, but no, the second shell is used. He's in a bit of trouble now. He can't really help Yase out. And Victory with some smart positioning to make sure that the mid lanes can't roam over. So it's actually a bit of a brawl there. This is a very active level 1. Tado landing a Q. What is Jase going to do here? He knows it's 2v1. Whoa, Jase! This was a huge mistake. What was the point of walking in there? Just go to your blue buff. This is such a massive amount of wasted time.
The moving in, however, gives Tado a little bit of time to heal up off the wave and get a small push advantage going on. But
look at this.
But yeah, now Kuriko's advantage is so big, he just can own this jungle.
This is a 4 buff.
Yase pulling off is massive. Yase just doesn't exist anymore.
This is a 4 buff.
It feels like if Aquino really wants to, they can try and even just stop the Gromp take, and now he has to back and walk all the way to Krogs for anything.
This is tragic. This is one of the worst level 1s we've seen in a very, very long time for Yase. He might die as well. He's trapped. Aquino goes for the flash. Can't quite get it. Jase has to flash over the wall. They'll take away this blue buff. They want to give it over to police, and they do.
I don't think they wanted to give it to police, but they ended up getting
true.
it.
I thought there was a smite, but there wasn't. You're right. They get it onto police regardless. This is... absolutely shocking.
Yase doesn't exist.
This is an Elise.
He hasn't taken a single camp. He's blown his flash. He's slowly making his way down to the wolves.
Yeah.
Actually,
Kuriko will go topside.
Kuriko's going to take that first grab. If Kuriko's smart, he will probably go straight back down to the... What the heck happened in mid lane?
Whoa, mid lane? What just happened? We sort of just flick over there and see a burning glory, and Percent is getting absolutely shellacked here in the early game. This is shocking.
And taking these beaks, I think, is a mistake on the side of Kuriko. However, especially now, because he's not making his way to that bot crab. And Yase being able to get that bot crab does help a lot in catching back up, because that is a lot of experience. And pause.
Oh, and there's a pause.
And pause. So we're going to get to see this. Glory actually engages onto Victory just for a trade, but Victory has the early game damage to turn it around. Lucian's strong. Lucian's very strong early. He uses the ignite, uses everything, gets that kill. Yeah, that was.
So we're gonna, while we are in this little pause, I'll let the smart boys back to try and break down these first few minutes.
Oh no, we're back in game. So sorry, Yulwei, you don't get to come back.
I'll just take over.
Bugger off your way. Sorry about that. Well, we thought.
But that was our mistake.
We are back in game. And
we are back in game.
This is a shocking early game for FTV.
FTV have basically controlled this early game. It looks like they're going to make an attempt mid, but Victory is able to walk away pretty easily.
Yeah, this is... I don't know what Percent does here.
Oh, what?
Ooh, they tried to come back. Victory is getting a little bit caught, but they can't get the last little bit of damage onto him. And he does survive.
And it looks like Shine was caught out on the bot lane, because he is on no health.
Absolutely. He is all the way back. Not sure what happened there. Must have just been a Taric stun.
Yeah,
it's going wrong everywhere on the map for Percent. Oh no, another stun lands. Lisa takes a lot of damage, but doesn't go down.
And this game is vaguely topsy-turvy, because in the top side, Rika is behind a good number of CS. Could say that was in part to helping Kuriko get the massive advantages in the early game, but yeah, we see stuff.
This is something. And one thing to note here is Kuriko is only a level down. Sorry, a level up. Jase being a level down, of course. If he can keep within one level, then maybe the early game wasn't as shocking. But he's only got one camp to take at the moment. I can't see this Elise having an impact for at least another 5 minutes minimum, and it's an Elise.
Yeah.
If you're having your first impact at 11 minutes, pick a different champion.
Yeah, and the reason Elise wasn't completely shut down was because they managed to get the Crab, they managed to get their Krugs, they managed to get their Gromp. Those are the highest. Only the Beaks is the really high experience camps that they missed, and the buffs, obviously. But being able to get the Crab and the Krugs means that the experience level isn't too much of too far behind.
Yeah, and they've actually brought the items even.
And I mean, I think that's simply at the back timings at this point. It's just Kuroko's probably sitting on a good deal of gold right now. He's just yet to back with it and use it.
Sure.
So right now they're at so obviously because of that, at right now they're relatively close in strength. Kuroko, of course, having that extra level and just being a Graves, so in a 1v1 skirmish should have the edge. Unless he gets cocooned, but
he does land it, but Kuroko doesn't really care. Still a Graves with a lead. It's something you definitely don't want to fight into.
No.
And
it looks like Kuroko's going to make a move onto the top lane. Tado's pushed right up.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. The facebreaker has already been used, but there's the suplex, and I don't think Tado's going to be able to heal through this one, and Kuroko will land the big buckshot straight into the face of Tado, and it's an easy kill. Once again, going a cull and not respecting the fact that when you might have been the focus. Another blue buff steal.
FTV shows counter jungling is a team effort, with the bot lane using their advantage to secure that blue buff for victory, which means the next blue buff, Kuroko can just take for himself.
Yeah, he loves it.
To keep stealing more camps.
Graves loves the bit early CDR as well. Getting those dashes more often is really good. Keep your health very, very high.
And because FTV is basically winning all the lanes, they can just take these.
Is this going to get stolen away? No, Kuroko will secure it, and he manages to get the eye as well. Tado can't hold that one off. Bit risky there by Kuroko. He didn't have a smite, but got it regardless.
It was very, very close. But now because of this, you have to wonder, where does Kuroko want to put it? I assume you probably want to go mid to accelerate that, unlock the jungles. And it looks like
the big double stun there by the FTV bot lane. They are very practiced on these two champions, it would seem. It's good to see as both of them hit their turret stun.
This seems much better. They're going to get Yase out.
Oh no, this poor spider looking like a daddy dead legs. Oh no, never mind, got away. Had the long legs, in fact. And going for a bit of damage there onto Kuroko, but he just doesn't take anything from this Elise. He's 2 levels up. Are we having another game that ends at 2 minutes and we just have to fill for 27? Because I'm not up for another one of those.
It feels like that, but I think Rika has said, no, I want to win this a lot faster than Percent did. And I think it's going to be that way. Like, obviously the leads, the level 1 lead sort of thing wasn't as drastic as what Percent got, but I also think FTV are going to be a lot more practiced at closing it out through rotations rather than just, we have to hit them with our wallet until they fall over.
Yeah. That's so far looking like it might be what happens, is there's no lane going well here for Percent. The only lane where they might have had a chance was the top lane, but due to the 2 kills, it's not happening. Yeah. I do kind of question Rika going for executioners. Like, you're playing set, just pick up a bramble. Ooh, sorry, my mic nearly fell over.
The obvious thing with bramble is that you can just not have it.
Not in a 1v1 though.
Not in a 1v1. It's not as likely, but you get it on demand if you're getting the XCs. And I mean, yeah, it's also cheaper to get the Executioner's Golem.
It is, but Bramble's a better item on its own. I don't like the Executioners over the Bramble, but regardless, I don't think it's going to be a huge difference.
It's not gonna make a huge difference. I understand it. I think if at this point Tato's going to spend most of his time trying to run away from Rika, so he's not going to be really trying to auto attack that much.
That's very true.
That means there's no Bramble.
I don't want to interrupt your thought, but you do have to guess the dragon. You are the Yulwei replacement. Even though he broke his curse yesterday.
So.
Ocean, all right. He broke his curse. Let's see if he passed it on to you.
Ocean wasn't even an option, so that doesn't count.
You really inted that. You just flipped a coin and you called. It's going to land on its side.
I flipped a coin and called spades. That's what happened.
Glory's absolutely trying to turn around with the Vanguard's Edge, but he misses the flawless duet. Can he get this onto it? No, Kuroko will make sure there's no trouble as he goes collateral damage from downtown and breaks that wall open.
And Victory is very lucky Kuroko was there. He flashed into the wall of the Vanguard's Edge, and you can't auto attack if you do that. I don't know what to tell you. But,
it was a bit of a mistake, but here is Set. They want to get Yase, and they will get him. Shelly charging in to get the first tower in the mid lane. And FTV, well, it's looking like it's stomp. They're stomping back. They got stomped, and now they're stomping. As Lisa has to ult himself and run away.
But no, it's not going to happen.
No charge on the mid lane.
Unfortunate if you're FTV, but I think you're happy getting 2 towers off of the first Herald. So there's
6k ahead at 13 minutes. This is a Garm level lead.
And both the outers and the side lanes are very low that you can probably you'll easily take them with the second Herald, which, you know, I don't think you're going to have too much issue taking that one. Judging by this bot lane that seemed to be like the massive focal point is now just sort of chilling at a relatively even position. But that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing here is that this is an Aphelios. Yeah. Right? Last game when FTV was getting stomped, they didn't have Aphelios. Aphelios, there will come a point in the game where if FTV fumbles at all, Shine can hit you for 6. Yeah, he will smack the ball so hard it leaves the MCG and lands at the whacker.
And we will see. And we'll see what happens, I guess. I had a train of thought, but I've forgotten it.
It's all right. To be fair, it looks like Percent is in about a similar state of boggled. As Lisa has been caught out here by Kuroko, was playing so over-aggressive. Knew he was there because of the sweeper, but they do manage to defend their ward.
And
this is harsh.
I mean, FTV could, of course, be doing a lot better. Especially in that top lane where he's decided to go with neither of the correct build paths.
Yeah, this is...
And rush that Black Cleaver against tanks.
Why would you go Black Cleaver here when you're so far ahead? Just go Triforce or Blade of the Ruin King.
If you're going... I mean, if he doesn't build a Blade of the Ruin King at least second, I'm going to be upset, but...
I don't think he will.
I don't think so. Yeah, you build that first item.
Yeah.
You just...
I don't think it's good as a second item. I think if you don't go Bork first, you don't go Bork. I kind of like Triforce into tank. I wouldn't have minded that. Yeah. Because Set doesn't really need to be a huge damage dealer. He just needs to be out of side lane. But
yeah, I think it's a very questionable build coming out from Rika.
It's going to be a double Black Cleaver because Lucian's building it. Why is Lucian building it now?
Yeah, I more understand it on Lucian in the sense that you get the easy I mean, you're up against usually going to be up against
I don't necessarily. It's fine to use that as well. We'll come back to it as there is a bit of a fight. The engagers come in. Rika charging forward. Does get the face breaker. Tato's in so much trouble as he's been suplexed. Up in the air goes Jase. Will have to come back down though. What goes up must come down and what goes down must die. Lisa ults himself. Aquino tried to flash for the stun. Couldn't quite get it. But Victory goes down there in the bot lane. Glory with the angry B. I think he's definitely angry at his team as he's getting solo kills, but the rest of the team is not doing much. And there's another Rift Herald that can be summoned here. FTV looking pretty triumphant.
And it's a matter of do they choose to? They're not going to because
I kind of like not doing it. Wait till you bait the base.
Right there. Shine's gonna interrupt or recall. It looks like, but yeah, we just see sort of both working on each other. And Victory does not look comfortable playing against this Irelia, as we see in the picture-in-picture. Things are going wrong.
There is a fight. As we come back in, Aquino is invulnerable from the Cosmic Radiance, but I don't think it'll make him survive for very long as Shine will root him up. And Police, can they get onto him or will he hip-hop away? Very good flawless duet there by Glory. Once again, doing everything he can to put his team on his back, but Set has arrived and ooh, down he goes, swatted out of the air by the big fists of the Wolfman. Jase said, ooh, I can get an objective, and then realized, no, I'm the objective for the other team, and the spider has been squished. And it's another dragon here.
You cannot get an objective.
Just don't go near them, dude.
You cannot get objectives this game. You're basically a Rift Scuttler for Kuroko at this point.
It's interesting because I didn't actually realize that Yase gets an extra spiderling this game, but he lost Elise. He's the spiderling. He gets to play as the new hero, Elise's spiderling.
No, it feels more akin to season 5 back in the days where you could smite Wolf and get a little.
Oh, the little buddy, that was awesome.
Runs around the jungle.
Rika could be in trouble, but he's out. Oh no, never mind. The stun does land. Aquino will throw one back, but there's the shutdown. Another bit of gold onto Glory. This is the last chance. If Percent can play through Glory, they have a small chance.
And the good thing for Percent is Glory is really no stranger to 1v9ing for this team. He has shown up time and time again. And Shine is on Aphelios, and that is probably his best champion at being a secondary carry and just trying to make him
best champion. just drop the his.
Yeah.
Aphelios is very strong.
I mean. A combination of 200 years experience, of course, is the classic.
Yeah. Regardless of these things, it's still very difficult to see Percent actually coming back. They just have absolutely no presence on the map. You can see all of the towers for FTV are basically full health. Yeah, Glory is strong and can probably win most 1v1s, but why would you 1v1? Just don't.
Yeah, the only things that Percent has been able to grab is from basically FTV stepping forward because they're confident, and they have reason to be confident. They are so far ahead, but you just Rika will step too far forward in lane. You'll see Victory try and take a solo kill and mess up and walk into the edge of the Vanguard's edge, and thus lose all his ability to fight, and then you just run out. And so small things can happen for the side of Percent, but they're not game changing until we see Percent maybe steal away a Baron or something.
Yeah, it's going to come down. Baron I think the way to put it here is that there is no play Percent can make to get back in this game at this point. It's going to come down to plays FTV makes and fumbling them.
Correct. Yeah, this pretty much comes down to, does FTV pull an FTV and throw it away? Which they could do. It's happened. Possible. It's happened to better teams. It's sort of the staple of the VCS that a team that should win just sort of completely tosses
they might
it.
start Baron up, though. This is a very fast Baron. I don't think there's a chance here for Percent to respond. Look how fast it goes down with the triple marksman. Rika just zoning away. There's no way Jase gets close enough here. It's 5,500 health. There's a Rend and a Smite. Are they going to go for this? They might just trade Rika. That's not a terrible decision. He goes golden, but they're not even going to get that cleanly as the Baron goes down. Can the rest of FTV get away? There's a big Gravitum ult. Whoa, Glory, not the best Vanguard's Edge there, and Yase died to something. I'm not actually 100% sure what finished him off.
Was 1v5 and he got a 1-for-1.
That's absurd.
I'm pretty sure. And, I mean, even if Yase was to get to the pit, he absolutely would have had no right to get that against a Rend, against a Smite that's 2 levels above him. You don't have a hope if you really shouldn't even have a chance. I hope we get to see that so we can see how Yase died if that really was just a straight up 1v5 kill.
I do love watching a set popping off. We always love watching that. I know you and me have very similar opinions of set.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like the
we see Rika get a massive ult. Ult's the it's just looks like it's a straight up kill.
Yeah, what does he actually... Why does Yase not leave?
Yase comes...
So he comes down
and he gets hit by the collateral damage.
Oh, it's the collateral damage! Oh, that's just...
Just poor timing. or maybe good timing from Kuroko if he timed that properly. But
I think it was just a little bit of a serendipitous moment. But here's Cloud Soul.
And it feels so bad for just Yase. May as well have just not logged onto the server at this rate. He's had a very, very, very rough game. But so it feels like Percent almost went, look, you gave us one for free, have one back. It's best of 3 now. In which case, hey, FTV's up again.
Yeah, they're not often up games in best of 3s, but this time they definitely are. And look at Rika, just standing on the front line, does not give a damn about Percent. The inhib will fall. FTV, they're playing it safe, I guess. They don't want to potentially throw, which, okay, fair enough. It's the right thing to do. But
and I mean, trying to push in at that point wouldn't have really made sense. You've still got Baron for another, I guess 30 seconds. So not as long as I thought, but you still have time. You can pressure anything. You don't need the Baron. It just makes the Aphelios wave clear a little less effective. Like they should be able to crack this and hit a turret.
I think they can dive the tower is the thing.
Yeah,
if they're all there, the tower doesn't exist.
The rest aren't fast, but no, Baron buff wears off. Shine's got his Infernum, so he's able to just remove the wave. And oh boy, it's rough. It's a rough time for Percent this game.
Well, they're living up to their name, I guess. There's a very low % chance they win. But there is still 2 games, right? Like, this is not a best of 3. This is a best of 5. We can definitely see this one go on. Both teams have had a smash performance now, so I guess they equal out.
Yeah. And so after this game, there'll be 2... They'll have their backs against the wall, so they would have to win 2 in a row, whereas FTV just needs to find 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the advantage FTV will have, and that's why it's just these 2 games. It feels so hard to really make a judgment. It feels like the only game you can actually get anything out of is the first. But
I mean, I think a conclusion I can draw from this one is that Police and Aquino look really good on Callista Tarek, to the point where you might have to ban Callista.
Was Callista not banned in the last few games?
I'm not sure.
I feel like they will.
If then they need to go back to banning it. because this looks very practiced, looks very clean. And here is possibly the final engage. Shine does have the Zillion ult. He'll resurrect, but he's going to resurrect in the middle of the enemy team. I don't think he's going to get anything done. Then there is the kills. The health bars have gotten low enough. Police can hip and hop his way to glory. Well, quite literally as glory goes down, but it's Kuriko that gets it. And that will be the game. The teleport comes in to make sure the minion survives. And game 3 will go over to FTV. They take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5, and they're looking pretty hot to get back into the VCS. Now, as this Nexus falls, I will throw you two back over to our analysis duo of Vinnie and Yulwei. So, just a moment. Take it away, lads.
Hello. Well, honestly, I'm quite surprised that Stompy the series is, because usually Stompy series means that both teams can actually close out games, which is something we don't really expect from teams of the level of VCSB. So surprisingly nice games in terms of closing, but of course the early games have been a little bit questionable on either side.
It's been quite rough for one team or the other. It was just, but this time, but in the same way, it does show what I thought coming from the first game and coming into this. FTV completely removed Yase from the game as a team. Like, they just worked together to remove his ability to take any camps for level 1. And whereas when Percent was stumping, they just straight up want to fight 2v2 and just push through mostly micro individual ability.
And Jase's champion pool or meta read, maybe, of the whole team is a little strange to me, because all across the world we see Trundle first picks, Trundle priorities, we see some J4 here and there, and he just plays all the Season 9 champs again. Lee Sin, Rek'Sai, Elise, all full on early game, all sinners. And maybe he has to expand his champion pool a little bit and try to go for something like Trundle, for a little bit more scaling, for a little bit more of a safety net, because when he doesn't get the kills, then his team just loses, it seems like.
He's playing these early game champions, and clearly they need that early game to work, and it doesn't really seem to be like it's not a given thing at this rate. So pull back, play something that scales better.
Yeah, I'd like to see the J4
for late game, I think.
Yeah,
maybe bring Eagle back. He got them in. I don't think he's an upgrade, but maybe it's just he can play that different later game style that can help.
Yeah, I think the first thing you need to change in terms of roster, though, is definitely top lane. Top lane has been such a big detriment to the team, and they have YT on the bench. YT is a VCS level player. I really don't understand why they refuse to play YT again. I want to see him in game 4. FTV is 1 game away from promoting back into the VCS. The gatekeepers themselves have been part of almost every promotion tournament. Last summer, of course, avoided that. Very close to also getting down there. But here we are once again, only 1 game away from promoting back to VCSA, and we will have a short pause, about 5 minutes, and come back with game 4. Welcome back to potentially the last game of this series, for the last game of VCS action, maybe for a month or 1.5 months. I'm Yulwei, of course, with me, Vinnie for the pregame. I'll be throwing it back to every day for the cast, of course. Well, what can we expect? Do you think Percent has it in them to come back? Can they fight back against the gatekeepers of the VCS, or is it just done?
Plot would say no, but they have the manpower. If they put in YT, they should 100% have the manpower. It's just a matter of, do they have the cohesion? Are they together as a team well enough? Can they use the power of friendship, or are they all about individual strength? Just to lean in on the anime protagonist trope that everybody loves to use for FTV. But so there we are. I don't know what to think about this matchup. I think both teams have shown that have shown how they win, but they've also shown that they are able to just completely screw it all up and throw it away. So
I think I want to see more bot lane attention. It seems like the bot lane for % is the stronger 2v2. At least they have the two better 2v2 players. We've seen them absolutely run away with game 2. So yeah, the Kalista is the first ban as a reaction. So I'd just like to see a very volatile bot lane matchup where Shine and Lisa can once again look to kill Aquino, who has been running it down in the first 2 games. He was fine in game 3. So let's see if they can go back. Blue side so far has had the higher win rate, right? Did we see?
Yeah, I mean, it's been FTV. I'm pretty sure it's been on red side all 3 games, and they're 2-1. So, but I'm apparently a prophet in predicting that they'd sub in Eagle. Does this mean they're going to go through a longer style game? And Yase just isn't able to. And they're locking in Renekton.
Yeah, that's a surprise to me.
They clearly they've been banning it since the first game, and I think that's why they ended up leaving that Kalista open, and they've swapped to this Nidalee ban.
Yeah, it's one of Kuroko's specials. Yeah. Kuroko likes to play Nidalee.
They've decided we don't want to give up the Renekton again to Rika, but Varus seems to be the secondary pick for police. Aphelios is open. What are you doing?
I mean, some people would argue that Varus is actually stronger than Aphelios right now. He has 2 modes. He can fit into almost every team composition. And so far, police hasn't been super great on the Aphelios. So, yeah, I think it's okay. You don't sub an Eagle to just play Elise. Come on, don't. Oh.
Yeah, that seems bad. Especially because the Eagle, from what we've seen, has not been a very aggressive early game jungler. He's been a lot more of an Smithy style or a Bengi style sort of farming control. So this Elise pick makes no sense to me.
Yeah, we all know Elise Renekton, yada yada yada, top lane, blah blah blah. But please. Elise has been so underwhelming this series.
In part being shut down by the puppy pick, right?
Yeah.
Renekton can't walk up and Ruthless Predator you if you just play it properly.
So Lisa back to his Bard special pick. Of course, Bard was banned almost every game so far. So very good to see him back on one of his best champions. We've seen yesterday, of course, Lu Mao hard carried with Bard in the 5th game of the LPL finals.
Yeah.
So Lisa wants to channel his inner Lu Mao. Let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, but the blind pick Bard essentially left it open to be attacked by this Nautilus. So I imagine they're going to be a support Nautilus, and that just should open up to a very, very easy pickings if they can land. If they can land the dredge line onto the Bard, because that is a squishy fellow. Less squishy with the Relic Shield, but
I was very surprised they didn't go for 2 ADC bans, but instead only the Aphelios now. So MF is very likely going to be the pick again. And Shine and Lisa have had big success on MF plus a support. So makes a lot of sense to go MF again. And we can have last pick for Victory or Kuroko. There are some junglers who would like to last pick. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The best of all junglers.
No, yeah, the VCS special, baby. You're right. You've got it. It's no, that's not unfortunate. It's Echo.
That's weird. Echo.
I guess.
Where did this Echo come from?
I don't know. Unless this is secretly a mid lane Echo, but I don't know. I don't understand this jungle pick.
That's very surprising.
That makes more sense. Thank you with the MF. But Vayne was getting a little bit close for comfort.
Vayne into Varus. Yeah, that's fun. Not.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. And the Orianna lock-in, as I am actually apparently quite behind, it looks like.
Well, Oriana is the oh, man. The last rotation for the FTV is the last. FTV's last rotation once again was very confusing to me. Aurelia once again, this time for victory, into Oriana. They just picked Aurelia into Oriana. What?
Yeah,
it's not a great matchup. Oriana can control the lane. Of course, Aurelia has some kill potential if Oriana ever missteps or pushes too far, but usually Oriana actually controls lane very easily against Aurelia. So
I almost feel like I would have rather seen Echo mid Poppy jungle and then Rika on the Aurelia.
Yeah,
I don't I think VTV's drafts have been pretty questionable outside that very first game, but I don't. Yeah,
drafts haven't really mattered too much in the series, to be honest. So
that is true, but it's not like this draft can replicate the same thing that they did in the last game and completely remove the Elise. You have an Echo, not a Graves, so your level 1 is kind of trash in comparison. You don't have a set, you don't have evolution in that top side, you're just kind of not doing much.
Yeah, I'm still very confused by the Echo. I guess Echo can look for aggressive dives in mid lane into Oriana, but when they picked Echo, Oriana was not locked in, so that was not their plan at that point. So it scales well, of course. The early clear is a little bit rough, and Elise should have full jungle control early on. You can maybe attempt a counter gank in top lane if you mirror the jungle pathing and just arrive a little bit later to top lane. You can potentially turn around the first gank on Poppy. I'm not too sure about that though. So yeah, this Echo just confuses me a lot. Not too sure what to make out of it. And Kuriko, has he played Echo before? I don't remember.
I think so. I couldn't tell you the game, but Kuriko has seemed to play a lot of these AP junglers, so we will see what happens, I suppose.
And yeah, potentially the final game of the VCS B or VCS promotion tournament. And I'm going to toss it back to the yelly man. Rakan, take it away, please.
Come on, Rakan. That was your cue. You gotta scream. No, he's too busy eating. I'll have to take his place. Sorry, everyone. I know you wanted the Bird co-cast, but you'll have to put up with me as we are getting
I'm a big fan of the Bird cast. Unfortunately, no birds in this game.
No, just a fairly interesting draft. I always like seeing Echo Jungle. I think it's very fun. Yulwei was right in that I think it was a bit of an odd pick in this situation. The Aurelia as well. Aurelia, like as Yulwei said, I'm definitely parroting him a little bit here. It's not a good matchup into Oriana. So why'd you do it?
No, it doesn't make any real sense to me beyond what Victory is comfortable on. Again, like it feels so weird. Like after seeing that first as year game, and now it's just not being touched again. And he didn't play it badly. He did quite good. It was a perfectly fine, comfortable pick. I don't get it. I don't understand this. I don't understand these drafts at all, to be honest. And I don't understand the roster allocations.
Yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to get at, is that it makes very little sense to me why Victory is still in. I guess you have a game spare, so why not? You don't need to swap Froggy in yet. But if you're going to sub out on the side of Percent, if you're going to bring in the new jungler, why not also bring in the top laner?
Now, there may be reasons on the sense that Eagle is more comfortable with Sado, because this lineup as is how they qualified.
Right,
YT was added later, so was Yase. So that might be the reason, but then you're wondering, why didn't you play something more Eagle style? Why go for this Elise pick again? I don't so much hate Victory still being in. Victory wasn't really ever the problem Well, he wasn't the problem in their loss. I mean, he wasn't he didn't do great, but he wasn't the problem. No. I don't. But yeah, the Eagle substitution just to play the same thing. Tado not being really, being a very good player. Hasn't been very good this series.
No, he's had a very weak
series. Any series.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 1 or 2 decent games that we've seen. Like, I don't want to be too harsh on him. But this series has been bad for Tado. He's been the weak point in every game for percent. Even the game where they got the ridiculous level 1 with the double kill in the bot lane, we were still saying Rika could carry this because he's so far ahead. And now Tado's just been baited here. That was so obvious that why would Rika be walking forward like that if he doesn't have backup? And now Tado has to run away, will get out, but has to take the back. He should be okay. He'll get there before minions. But a Poppy's not going to do that unless there's someone in the bush.
Yeah. Especially not into a Renekton, not level 1. And I think this almost should have been a case where Rika tried to level up E, because with E, you probably get that kill. But, that having E level 1 as Poppy does suck, so I understand not doing so. So we just move into the early stages of the game. Akino's able to walk all the way down. It's not going to miss any experience. Not going to give Lisa and Shine that real chance to bully this lane around. As much.
Oh, there's a hook though onto the Bard, but Bard's pretty tanky early on, and the Meep Slap does definitely return a lot of damage. They win that trade pretty hard.
Yeah, the damage out of level 1 Place and Akino is not enough to get through the Relic Shield.
Yeah.
Essentially just the Relic Shield. And the return damage is massive. And because of the extra, meat damage, Percent is able to get this level 2, and now they should have full control over this lane.
Which that's to be expected. It's a Misfortune Bard. You have to think FTV knew that this was going to be their weak lane, and hopefully they play around that.
And Places once again decided to go for the Lethality Varus, which I don't agree with on this.
Oh, hang on a minute. We do have a catch here. Victory taking a lot of damage, but does flash away. Not good early on. Flash for flash. Eagle did burn his as well for the flash cocoon, but you'll trade a jungler's flash for a mid laner's flash every day of the week.
Yeah, and you do have to also question the Aurelia pick again with the Elise pick as on top of it. It's double magic damage, and you do not have that damage reduction on your W. So you're not really all that tanky against magic damage.
Yeah.
And it showed there because he got kind of exploded. So I think he may have only just been he may have just been level 2. I don't actually recall looking.
I think it was level 3, I think. One thing I'm noticing, just a very small thing, but I want to point it out because I like it from Percent, is every time Akino's thrown out these hooks, he's hit Lisa a couple of times, but they're being very smart and not trading back until after the Aftershock. Because support Nautilus, obviously he is very tanky, but he's tanky because of Aftershock. If you go in, parallel convergence, does come out, gets the stun, but doesn't get very much damage as Glory was a bit too far back in the lane. Still.
Yeah, Glory managed to get under tower, so even though he was stunned, they couldn't really dive on top of him.
Yeah.
And to get the damage down for the kill, so just pops the emote, he's fine. And on the Aftershock, Aftershock is an insane amount of stats. Granted, it's not as insane in the early game as it used to be, but you definitely get to survive. You get to take a lot of extra damage when that's active, and because there's not enough straight out damage output.
Ooh, down in the bot side, we do have the flash in here. Shine in a bit of trouble. He's ignited, burning, but gets onto the hot chocolate and will manage to turn this one around. And now it's FTV that are in trouble. And the first blood goes to Eagle. He comes in, takes the kill in the bot lane. A good start for Percent.
and they try so hard and over-aggress onto these to get that kill. They blow both flashes to try and get Shine, and if they aren't able to do it because he can flash he flashes the Q.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think if they had lethal tempo, they might have been able to pick up a kill a lot easier onto either of these bot laners. But
that was a very good stun by Lisa.
Starting this off. But yeah, I think with lethal tempo, you can do a lot more damage than with this Comet build. And
I'm not sure. He couldn't really land too many auto attacks in there. I don't think the rune lethal tempo probably would have been better, but I don't know if it would have gotten it.
I don't think it would have gotten them the kill either. I think it was an actual just over aggressive use of both flashes, but it I think I can see this. I don't see this lethal tempo being really this Comet build being.
Oh, is a Shockwave being used in the mid lane? Glory wants this. With Lisa coming, there's a very good chance the flash still gets hit by the Vanguard's edge, but this still should be the kill. Very close, and Lisa ends up having to take the kill just to make sure. But Kuriko's here, they want the return, but stunned up, and now Kuriko's in so much trouble, and it's a double kill for Bard. Get your Utes in chat, because the Cosmic Caretaker is 2-0.
And it's just mistakes after mistakes on the side of FTV. They are making small micro decisions and like overcommitting for things. Granted, that was Glory being able to turn it around, knowing he had help on his way. And Victory actually almost got a kill on Glory because both him and Lisa messed up and walked into the disarm zone onto the walls, so they couldn't auto attack. And when you're Orianna, a lot of your DPS is your auto attacks. You're maybe a mage, but you are an auto attack mage with that clockwork wind up.
Absolutely.
And they were lucky. Eagle was able to come down and keep Victory from actually finishing off a kill, because otherwise that would just be a 1-for-1 trade, and at this point FTV takes that.
Yeah, it was Lisa stopped the first kill happening, but then Eagle being there prevented Kuriko trading, which is very good. Very good play, honestly, by percent. They
forgot Kuriko went in and just died.
So. He tried to. I mean, he is Echo. If he potentially could have gone in, got the first kill, maybe it would have given him the level up, and then he can just ult out. I'm not sure how much XP he was off level 6 at this point, but here in the bot lane, oh no, a terrible Bard ult, and Shine is dead. Oh no, we were just praising them, but now Lisa goes on the magical journey. Can he get under tower? He's trying to juke around for the hook, but he gets hit up. Will they be able to finish him? No, Aquino with a tragic hook there. Police takes a lot of tower damage, but it's still the 1-for-0 in the bot lane.
Yeah, and good work on Police on dodging out of the ult from the Bard, which was able to help steal them kill, but he's sticking around. He's going for that hot shock, but
he's just roaming.
No, he's just going on around. He's just doing a Bard. I'm gonna go catch some chimes.
Yep, fair enough.
But Percent's able to use their advantage in the mid and jungle to take control of this Rift Herald. I assume they'll use it to push this into the top lane, maybe accelerate their Renekton, because I mean the bot lane's pretty well accelerated with the 2-0 Bard.
It is, but it's also not. Actually, MF is quite far behind. Oh, and there's the Shockwave and makes the Vanguard's edge miss, but Rika is in the mid lane trying to get onto Shine, but Aquino misses another hook, and now they've got trouble because Bard has arrived, bullet time has been used. FTV should be able to back off, but I don't think Kuriko wants to back off. Bard's been caught out. Does he have the ult for himself? He doesn't, but he has the tankiness. Shine will get the first kill, and oh no, this is an absolute disaster here for FTV. They're getting absolutely slaughtered. Chrono Break's been used, but up in the air goes Eagle. Can they get onto Kuriko? Police has arrived, throws out the Q, and that should stop the chase. But it's a 2-for-0. Percent coming out big on top.
There's no damage on the side of FTV for that ring gauge. Police is in the middle of nowhere. You have a Nautilus. You have a Irelia with a longsword and a Doran's blade. You have a Poppy, and you have an Echo who has a Fiendish Codex and have thus the most damage. You don't have enough damage in your items yet to go near that.
Yeah. I think they just underestimated how tanky the Bard is.
And yeah, that's probably a part of it, but Bard is unnaturally tanky right now, but because of his ability, because Relic Shield's just too strong at the moment.
Yeah, Relic Shield.
Basically. So there's no reason for these champions to take and there's no reason for the champions to take the Spell Thieves line right now. So they're left just deceptively tanky. And please, what is
Oh, there's the Bard ult. Aquino is very low. Are they going to go under tower here? Ooh, Police get stunned up. They can turn on this easily, and Shine gets that kill. Ooh, Aquino does go down with the flash forward from Shine, but here come the boys into the magical journey. Does Shine want to go through? He does. Looks like they might just try and abandon Eagle up in the top lane. There is a 1v1. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So let's focus on the main play. As the other boys have come back around, FTV got hard baited here. Glory's arrived. A great Orianna ult. Fantastic work. They're using it on himself and hitting two of them. Kuriko's dead. The TP got interrupted from the top lane. And another Bard stunned hit tethered to the wall. But it doesn't matter this time as Victory gets away. Rift Herald is summoned and Percent want to take us to Silver Scrapes.
And it's individual outplay after individual outplay, just time and time
but here we go. Another fight. As they turned it around. They will manage to get the Bard this time. And Eagle as a bit of an overstay. But, what the hell was that damage? That must have been two autos hitting at once as Aquino just stopped existing.
Yeah, that... I imagine... No, there's no actual crits, so
It must have been Orianna and MF hitting at the same time.
I guess so, because Glory could quite comfortably be looking towards a Magi at any time. He's almost topped off his Dark Seal, and it is just outplays after outplays. There is nothing going right for FTV, and again, you probably got to bring it back to the draft. There's not a lot of damage on this team.
And Victory's been caught by the cocoon. Do they have enough damage to chase on? No, not quite.
And Lisa's Bard has really been impressing.
This has to be
why it's been on the ban list all 3 games. I think they really overestimated in that case.
But we're back to live here. We were watching a replay, but here we are. A lot of damage being dealt to FTV. Lisa very low, hit by the Chains of Corruption. If they want to try and turn this around, it's not the worst idea ever. There's Shine on the front line though, and the good snipe there from Police. Aquino going back in, but the kill will be picked up by Glory. Shine, can he back out? Kuriko has the field set up, but doesn't go in. It's just a 1-for-1. Support for support.
Yeah, and you feel like, and again, it feels like they're missing out on the damage. They are all burst, and this means that Aquino lands this. I mean, they've used all their burst on Bard, right? So when Aquino lands the hook and pulls Shine in, there's nothing left in the tank. So Shine just walks back out and gives a free kill, and it's a free kill back to Percent, where it really should have been at least a 2-for-1 or at best a 1-for-1 if there was any actual damage, which this Varus does not have. As with there's no consistency. You have one shot and then you just run out.
I mean, I think the theory is if Varus can do enough poke damage, you have Victory who can hop around in the backline and do Irelia thing, right? That hasn't worked because of the Victory being set behind in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, Irelia can't get there. Irelia's going for the Blade of the Ruin King, which, as you've brought up before, it doesn't do so well into these mage matchups because you don't get to do the auto attacks you need.
And they will manage to get an Infernal Drake, though, which means what's it going to be? The tradition.
Now I'm going to say Ocean.
Okay. And it's Cloud, so you're the new Yulwei. You're the new Yulwei. He gets it right, so now you need to...
So I had a solid 2-game run.
I'm
just never going to guess Ocean again. Yeah. It doesn't seem to work for me.
Yulwei got it right by guessing Ocean, so it's really a back and forth. So an interesting thing, of course, is top lane has just been a complete wasteland this game. Nothing really happened up there. Renekton is very comfortably ahead, has his Bork, finished a cull, got a tower. He's very, very happy, but Elise hasn't been up there, which is fun.
It's been an island, and this Poppy, in response, has not worked into Renekton, and I mean it shouldn't. Renekton should absolutely be dominating the laning phase.
TV
maybe
wants
not
this Rift Herald.
so hard, maybe not this hard, but but Rika did spend a good chunk of time as a rotating mid, which gave Tato that extra time to just build advantages. And
I'm surprised the percent is going for this. This is a 5v3. This is really, really risky. They just want to play the power of the Renekton, and it's not worked at all. Lisa's only just arrived, and that was... I don't know why they made that call. Just trade the Herald for the tower.
Yeah, that was Tato getting very hypey there.
Yeah, oh, but speaking of hype, look at that Orianna damage. Chrono Break is just fast enough to stop the Shockwave hitting, but this is a very scary Orianna.
Yeah, and it's just... And honestly, if they win this game, put in YT, that's their one weakness of percent gone from this game. I mean, it's weird saying Tato's a weakness because at this point, he looks decently far ahead, but he got a good chunk of time to himself to just farm up his cull, which he has bought again. He seems to be the new Nuguri. Because it's cull every game with this fella.
Yeah, he likes his cull. I think it's okay in this matchup. Once you've identified that the Elise isn't going to come top, just go cull. I'm fine with that.
I mean, the Elise probably could have come top if it didn't really blow out of proportion so early. But this it's been a very interesting...
This has been a very interesting game for sure. Ooh, Shine flashes away, was very scared of a potential engage. He was rather overextended. He won't have his flash to bail him out next time. Nothing really for percent to be playing around here. They're just looking for kills. Tato goes forward, uses the Blade of the Ruin King, should be able to catch onto Kuriko. Very easy there. Eagle will get that kill. Can they find anything more, or will they just use it to push the lane in? I think it'll be the latter.
And Kuriko's so upset. His ult just comes off cooldown.
His ult wasn't going to get him very far, unfortunately.
However, he did have a team rotating to help him, so that extra damage from the Chrono Break on top of the group may have been enough for a police arrow to take someone out.
Yeah, but you're not wrong, as mid tower has fallen. Tato TP top to make sure
goes wide.
Nothing got.
Yeah, and it is just small plays, just very small things to keep percent in the lead and keep them pushing it a little bit more each time.
Comfortably ahead. Yeah. 5k up. That's a lot.
And it sort of doesn't feel like it's that much. Obviously they've most of their things have been like, oh, we've been outplaying, oh, there's just not enough damage out the side of FTV. And granted, we haven't seen a real fight with this sort of lead beyond Tato just straight up giving a free kill over in the Rift Herald pit, but so when we see this dragon spawn, we might actually get to see the full effect of it in a 5v5, but it's so... this game is
Kano
very
looking
hard
to make a play. He goes for the flash hook into the depth charge. This is a big problem for Shine, and this time they have enough burst, and the MF just gets instantly deleted, and that's exactly what FTV wants to do with this team comp. They just want to delete someone. Aquino taking some damage, does manage to survive, and now no ADC for the dragon fight.
And that is the absolute...
Ooh, Rika re-engaging, and they found another one. Percent with a little bit of a throw here. Lisa trying to get away from victory, but I don't know how much of a chance he has. Lands a stun, tries to use the hot chocolate speed, but with the wall coming down, and there's a Bard ult. Can Tato get here in time to save the support? I'm not sure, but can he at least get the counter kill? Doing a fair bit of damage, and he should be able to get this one fairly easily. A Cull the Meek will come in, and will definitely cull the victory for sure, as the push in the mid lane does get 2 towers. FTV gets so much back there.
Yeah, they managed to use all their burst onto the right target. Last time they used it all on Lisa. This time it's onto Shine. And that means Glory is left as the only damage dealer, and it's stuck in the same position as, and now they are on the same terms as FTV of just one big blast in the chamber and not much left. And that favors FTV because they have the biggest shotgun, I suppose.
Yep,
they don't have consistency damage, but they have a lot of it.
FTV has an artillery piece. It fires once, but if it hits, it's going to blow up with some people. So we'll have to see if percent are going to be in the wrong trench.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, Shine is not positioned well. He needs to recognize the situation is they are just going to dump all of their damage into one target, and if that target dies, FTV can win the fight. But if that target doesn't die, FTV can't win that fight. So Shine can't be the one dying.
And I think, he needs to play back. And I think it's a bit even more. It's a bit even more than that. It's if that target is Shine, FTV wins the fight. If it's just Glory, there is still. I mean, they've blown their load. And Shine can just keep going. He can keep ordering, and when it's all gone, it's all gone. He can just go in with next to no fear at that point. I mean, obviously there's still damage in CC and all that, but you don't have to worry about the Varus ult, the victory ults.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depth charges and all that stuff. So
it's very true. And the thing about if they go on Glory, yes, you want your Orianna to survive the duration of a fight to get repeated rounds of damage, but if they all jump on Glory, she can just press R. Right? And do enough damage. Yeah, okay, maybe you die, but you probably do enough damage that Shine can carry the fight. So it really is on Shine's positioning. And Lisa as well, to be ready with a Bard ult. Oh, not like that, as that's a real clanger from Lisa. Didn't hit the ult, didn't hit the Q. Akino will go down in trade, so it's a 1-for-1. Shine is caught completely alone. Very good shockwave to hold Rika back. Shine managing to survive. Kuriko wants him though. Does he have enough damage? Not quite, but here comes Victory, locking him up in the Vanguard's edge, but he gets crit out of the planet. Unfortunately, a snipe came in from downtown. This is a 3-for-3 at the moment. Very, very messy. Glory charging forward. They want police. And Rika will be the only one there to help as they want to keep this one going. Can Tado find a way forward? He has his flash if he wants to go for the dash flash. And there it is, straight onto the Varus, chops his head off. And now it's Glory and Tado, 1v2ing Rika. And will they be able to take this Poppy down? I think they will. And it's a double kill for Tado. And a 5-kill, not quite the ace because Akino came back. But was 5 kills, 4% for 3 for FTV. Messy, messy team fight.
Very messy fight, and you see they're not able to blast Shine out of existence immediately. So,
I mean, if they'd all gone at the same time, maybe they would have.
A lot of time. Meanwhile, Victory just did explode out in an instant. So that didn't help their situation very much. As we see, Lisa commits and misses everything, which means the turnaround is simple. It ends up as a 1-for-1 initially, but with Rika coming in, they dive straight on Shine. Completely, Rika gets denied, and the ultimate, the Keeper's Verdict, actually plays against FTV, knocking Tado right into Victory.
Unfortunate there for sure. We come back to live, and Akino is taking a lot of damage. He'll go down. The Bard ult missed again. These have not been great Bard ults out of Lisa this game. Someone that's very good at Bard definitely needs to hit those ones a little bit better. And percent charging forward, getting all the vision control they want, and pushing onto this mid lane inner. The Varus ult was used there. Ooh, Shine could be in some trouble as there's a Rika on the flank, but Victory's gone too early and just died. So has Kuriko. Rika is only just now entering the fight. Kuriko did get the kill onto Lisa, but that is not a good trade. They're going to go straight to Baron. 3 members of FTV in the death chamber. Akino just respawning. Oh dear. Just badly timed.
And yet, FTV, they're not looking together on this game. They're just Akino caught looking for wards. Victory caught just, I guess, looking for a position to come in. And then when they collapse on him, Kuriko is like, I'm coming. And everyone's like, what? No, we can't follow that up. And so it's just in one at a time, like lemmings, to the slaughter.
Absolutely. They've got the idea of diving right, but they need to get on the whole diving together. Because if they had done all of that damage at the same time, with Rika in there, Shine probably does die, and then maybe they win the fight. But they just went one by one, and he's got a lifesteal up. He's got Bloodline, probably, and the Vampiric Scepter. Yeah, he's definitely got Bloodline because of the shield. You can't do it like that. That's not going to work. The MF will just crit you and kill you.
You absolutely can't. And now the Elise is the complete opposite from last game with 7 kills.
Ooh, Rika coming in. The flash forward onto Shine, but he manages to get away. The play hasn't worked. Once again, the engage was too far forward from the rest of the dive squad. They're not respecting each other's ranges.
The QSS, or the cleanse of some description, I'm not sure if it's a Mikhail's or a QSS, from Shine just completely...
I think it's a Mikhail.
It means you end up flashing and nothing comes from it. So...
Tower down.
Basically blown that they've done their best to get a kill, but all they get from it is a Mikhail Sprite. And
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is FTV.
They're kind of siege top lane, and yeah, you have no wave clear. You have a queue from police every few seconds, but
doesn't even do that much damage at this point. He's actually not too far behind. He's 5-2. Police has had a pretty good game.
I mean,
but
yeah,
it's still not going to get through the tankier members of Percent. If it's hitting Bard and Renekton, it's not going to do very much. They have the heals as well from the Bard W. It's a rough situation. This FTV comp, we knew as soon as it was drafted, if this gets behind, they're in a lot of trouble, and they got behind very early.
Yeah, and at this point, it's not even enough to blow up Shine, because Tado with this Blade of the Ruined King can still do a lot of damage over time if he's allowed to be on top of the enemies, and he can easily get it. And yeah, I mean, Rika can bounce him out a bit, but they're so far behind now. It's just, all right, I'll kill you, then I'll come kill the next one and the next one. And what? Police shouldn't be killing me. I've got armor. I've got a Mountain Drake, so that's something. I've got Dominus on like a 10-second cooldown. So
yeah, I mean, that's another thing to talk about here, is that this is now that we've been on the Cloud Rift for a little while now, as the Magical Journey is used to transfer the push to the bot lane. This Renekton with a Cloud Soul, what does Police do? He presses R and runs at him at light speed. When you have Cloud Soul, Renekton ult is not about tankiness anymore. It's a mobility tool. Because you just press R, get a massive burst of move speed, and the enemy AD carry can't get away.
And so, I mean, he's done what he can in the sense of he's built the Edge of Night to give himself that spell shield, but that's easily
proc with the dash,
with a Q or an E, and then you don't get to do anything. Or if they really want, proc it with the Bard ult, block out the rest of the team, and then Police is left on his own.
That's actually really funny, because it's when you'd really rather not have the Banshee's effect.
Correct.
Because you'd rather be in stasis with the rest of your team. It's safe there. But Percent just has full control of the map at the moment. They're not going to overextend. There's really no objectives outside of breaking the base. And breaking the base is still pretty difficult. 29 minutes in, so we should be seeing it soon. 3 items on Shine. But I think they will just wait for the dragon, get the soul, and then play around Baron, and from there, win the game.
Yeah. It's a matter of... with breaking the base, with a comp like this, it's a matter of just... The Baron is almost necessary because of just how fast Police can clear waves. Or they have to try and split the map properly, but they haven't shown
Tado might be a little bit caught out here. The Bartle, again, not looking very good. And now we have a very split fight. They're trying to get onto Tado. They're doing a fair bit of damage. Victory and Shine dueling in the back line. Shine hard winning it. Goes Golden, does Victory. Can they get anything? They do get the shutdown, but it could still turn back in Percent's favor. I think, in fact, it already has. Rika will be the next one to go down, and it's 4 kills for Percent. Eagle went down, gave me a glimmer of hope for FTV, but I was hoping for something that doesn't exist. And we will, I think, be going to game 5.
And the Eagle has landed and completely turned what the series around, it feels like.
Oh my god.
Okay. and it feels like they have to stop this Varus pick. It's not working. It's done nothing.
Police isn't a Varus player, in my opinion.
Then why pick it?
I don't know. That's what I agree. But with the win, I will throw back over to the smart boys, the boys with the brain. Yulwei, go ahead and take it away.
The crap spam as percent kills the Nexus. Nice. Well, blue side seems to be super OP. Everyone stomps on blue side. Back-to-back blue side stomps. So last game should be FTV back on blue side. So we already congratulate them on making it back to the VCS apparently.
Yeah, so what do you think? Obviously, people got to hear my opinions. What was your thoughts on that game?
FTV's early game, man. Not the greatest. I actually think their teamfight coordination in the mid game looked pretty strong. Considering they were 6k, 5k gold down, they made it much more competitive than I thought it would be in terms of team fighting. And honestly, I think the Varus is not that big of a problem. He deals a lot of damage in teamfights. I think the biggest problem is that they actually gave up MF for absolutely no reason. So I was looking at this game and thinking about the second phase of draft again, and they banned Rise Aphelios. Just ban Aphelios MF, and suddenly you force the enemy ADC on something that has to get closer to Varus, and then Varus can win lane a little harder. I think that is the biggest problem they had in that draft. Of course, probably not really available on blue side, so something only to think about for this game. But yeah, Percent once again looking strong in the early game. I think they're a great early game team. They won 2 early games against OPG as well. So
alright, yeah, I think it's I personally just absolutely value DPS over burst in most situations. So having no option for it really just, I think, is in part what's gimping FTV, because they are winning when they have a consistent damage source, right? They've won with Lucian, they've won with an Azir. The other 2 times, they haven't had that.
That's a fair point. I think the bigger problem is the victory.
Okay, the second time they had an MF, but they no wait, they didn't have an MF, but you know they just entered level 1. So
yeah, I mean, one of the big problems is also the victory you went for Irelia for absolutely no reason. Yeah. Why not go for Mage? I think Wage plus Poke Varus is actually a super strong combination, especially if the Mage is either able to poke, like Zoe style, or able to control spaces. Azir comes to mind. Azir is super good because you can also protect the Varus and then also offer great amounts of DPS to be the primary carry later on. I really like Azir Varus, Zoe Varus, even Orianna Varus is, I think, very nice because Orianna can either DPS or burst. So yeah, I just think they have the wrong mid laner for this composition. And the second phase of draft for FTV so far has been so egregiously bad. I just don't understand where their heads are in terms of draft priorities. But blue side has been the saving grace, and they are potentially back on blue side, which should mean FTV has a better chance at winning this series.
Yeah. So with that, I think we're going to take a small break, and then we will see with Silver Scrapes for the game
get your PPDs ready for Silver Scrapes. Yeah. Welcome for now really the last game of the VCS spring action, this time promotion tournament, of course, for the summer season. Who will be our final participant? Will it be Person Esports, the best challenger team, or FTV once again, the gatekeepers, the perennial VCS team for absolutely no reason? What do you think? Where are we going?
It feels, with that last game, it feels like it should be percent, because they basically were winning from top to bottom in that last game. Even the impeccable Rika wasn't able to stand up to the Renekton on Poppies. So it feels like but this time,
oh my god,
we get Rika's Jace. This has been banned all 4 games so far. So either they feel first pick is a bit special. But,
yeah, that's a head scratcher. Bard is
I-
banned this time. Interesting.
Bard was banned. So it's now a matter of what does Tado play that doesn't get bullied by Jace.
I like this a lot. I like this MF lock-in. Has worked wonders for Shine and Lisa to play MF. One game they absolutely stomped bot lane. I think every single game they played MF, Shine got off to a great scoreline. So I really like this decision here.
And we see Eagles Nidalee. Okay, this is...
We're feeling risky. Holy, this is the game to secure your jobs in the main league, and you're playing Nidalee. Whew.
This and pure comfort
Confident
coming up from Eagle, but we're gonna see Lucian. This might be a police Lucian, do you think?
He's a very good Lucian player, so potentially. I'd hope so, because we have seen way too many games with full AD comms. I'd like to see the Shyvana answer into Nidalee.
But we're going to see the Lee Sin. So looking for a bit more early game presence.
Hey, more AD. How great.
More AD. They won with the full AD comps.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. They actually did.
I definitely agree. I would like to see some form of magic damage. Be that in the form of a mid laner or a brand or something. Rumble.
I definitely seem to agree with you, though, in terms of Varus priority, because no Varus in the first round, which was something FTB was going for consistently. They even first picked Varus. So a different ADC, very likely coming in for police. Maybe the Lucian, maybe something else. I expect Varus and Aphelios bans on the side of Percent now in round 2.
Well, they banned the Irelia away.
Okay, never mind me, I guess.
No, there's the phase 2 bans have not been...
Why would you ban Irelia?
Ban away the comfort, I guess. And so they are expecting this Rumble to go to the top side, it looks like, on FTV with the...
Or they want to force it into...
Or trying to force it mid, but...
Yeah.
Still targeting Glory with just the third ban towards Glory. Which, fair. I
Makes
definitely
sense,
understand that. And yeah, so it looks like they're trying to make FTV, trying to make Victory uncomfortable. Maybe force him onto that Lucian.
So it seems like the read for Percent is 100% Lucian bot lane, because they did not care about bot lane bans. Aphelios is still open, so we could still see 4 AD champs on FTV side again.
And I think if they're trying to force that mid lane pick, that Lucian mid lane, so that, you know, another Varus game comes out of place and they get to win bot lane again. But we will see what this last pick is.
I'm so sad it's a Lee Sin for Kurko. This could have been such a great carry AP jungler.
That is spicy. The Twisted Fate.
That is going to be special.
I'm upset we got Morgana. I think, you know, you could have played like a Brand or something, or a Zyra. Get some actual AP damage going. And we may be seeing Glory's Akali as the response. No, the Cassiopeia. That makes a lot more sense.
Does it? Full AP topside? We're back to okay. To be fair, this is VCS Classic, and they try to go to the VCS, so they of course have to show us the triple AP topside. I hate it so much. Ugh.
I think it's. I mean, obviously you want a damage mix, but I think it's not as bad as having a triple AD topside with an AD carry.
Think so? No, I think triple AD is easier to play than triple AP. I think triple AP gets hard countered by one item, much more so than AD, because AD champs actually build Black Cleaver and stuff to cut through armor, and AP champs can't really rush void stuff, so it's way harder to actually itemize efficiently or effectively. Yeah.
But I think we're not going to be really seeing a case of a lot of ganks coming from the Nidalee anyway, especially from Eagle. Definitely play, from what I last saw of Eagle's Nidalee, it was a lot more. It looked a lot like the Graves in Game 3, where it's just, you don't get your jungle, I get my jungle. I get my jungle, I get your jungle. You don't get to do anything. You have to make bad ganks, or you just disappear from the game.
It's interesting because we've actually seen some different Nidalee styles in VCS itself as well. Yijin, when he goes for this pick, and it's one of his classics, he likes to hard camp top lane. It's a very topside focused champ for Yijin. Goes for top gank over and over again. While people like Son, who played this Nidalee a lot, like a year ago, didn't really play her too much this season, but when he played her, he was much more about the farming style. He didn't really gank too much, so very different Nidalees. Okay, so Eagle is more towards the Son style.
Yeah.
I think you're playing the wrong comp for farm Nidalee though. Nidalee wants to have 80 solo laners so that no one itemizes MR, so you can just burst squishy targets all the time. Where's the farm going to go? Like, it's nice to have farm at the level lead, but if everyone has MR, the Nidalee will be useless either way. So I'm really not too happy with this top side. I think the Cassiopeia pick kind of ruined the whole comp. I think Drumble mid lane would have been better. Just counter pick with the top lane tank that can withstand the Jace pressure, which especially things like Ornn can actually do quite well. So,
but it's tough.
Yeah, I know it's Tado, but
so you're left with playing Rumble top.
Yeah,
maybe you should have played an Aatrox, maybe a Pantheon mid. I don't know.
To match Twisted Fate's roams and pressure him out of lane. Yeah, it's actually a nice idea.
What I do like about Cassio is you have fast wave clear, and if you can drop your W on the TF Salt, he can't go anywhere.
That's fair. That's fair. It's also very easy to kill Cassio here, though. Twisted Fate Lee Sin combination. Twisted Fate's point and click stun into Lee Sin, very easy follow-up queue. Might be very dangerous for Cassiopeia early on. I expect them to blow her flash and give Twisted Fate enough time to scale to 6 and then maybe try to dive top lane. I think that's a very easy game plan. Bot lane shouldn't see too much attention into MF Braum. I think that's too hard to kill. This is, in my opinion, very topside focused for FTV, and with how Rika has been outperforming Tado in this series, I think it's a good choice to go topside focused.
I think it's going to look a lot like GARM 2019 with just everyone going topside. Twisted Fate, Lee Sin, all jumping behind this Jace and killing this Rumble 1,000 times over.
Yeah, Lee Sin Nidalee is actually a super fun matchup because, of course, Nidalee farms way faster than Lee Sin, but Lee Sin can actually look for kills, especially early on, level 3, level 4. If he gets the jump, he has a severe advantage. And with Twisted Fate ultimate, spotting Nidalee in her jungle, if Lee Sin is around, he can actually just straight up go for kills on Nidalee all the time. So it's a little bit more scary for this cat lady than usually.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Of course, that depends on getting Twisted Fate to level 6 without Victory
fair
falling too far behind or making a massive mistake. But we will see eventually, because I swear these in-game times get longer each game. But we saw these past 2 games. Tado actually was outperforming Rika. Now, Rika is now on Jace and not on a Poppy. So that will change things quite a bit. Do you think there is a worry at all? Or not? I guess we will find out, will we? Because we're on the Rift, but...
Yeah, one last thing for me to say until I throw it back to everyday, of course. I think Rika is actually a very good laning Jace player, but he tends to die a lot. It's a little bit like watching the Shy, a mini the Shy. So usually he dominates his lane, but then overextends and dies. And he kind of has to try to not do that and still dominate Tado, which can be hard against Rumble.
Yeah.
So I believe in Rika. I think FTV got this. Take it away.
Well, with your beliefs explained in depth, I will finally come in to take my place on this Game 5. We love a Game 5 in a very important series for both of these teams. As you always said, this game is for your job for the next 6-ish, actually, well, really until the end of the year. Because obviously there's no promotions until next year's spring split. So this is a very important game. I'm very surprised they've gone to a Twisted Fate in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried about it. I like FTV's comp, but I'm worried about Victory on TF. It's an immobile mage, needs fairly high execution, and that's not what we see out of Victory.
Yeah, I'm surprised that if this was sort of the game plan, why they wouldn't go just put Froggy in and get him to play Galio. He's plays a good Galio, so from what we've seen. And
I almost think the fear... I almost think they're outthinking themselves a little bit, because if you bring Froggy in, then you go, okay, we'll bring Froggy in to play Galio. Okay, but what happens if % ban Galio because they see Froggy? Like, but you don't have to worry about that because he's not actually just a one trick. Froggy's got other champs. It's not actually that big a deal. If they use a ban on the Galio, you say, okay, we'll pick something else. But regardless, Froggy's not in this game, so guess we just keep our analysis to the world of reality. Aquino back on this Morgana as well. He had a very bad game 1.
He
had a
definitely
shocker.
did. He definitely did in the lane, and even a little bit out of it. But most of the time in the fights, and he was able to shut down what Yasen's Lee Sin was trying to do.
Yeah, it's true.
But we're seeing what he's doing here, and it looks like Kuroko is going to maybe encounter Eagle. Probably not with this. He'll see him on the way out.
Yep, he'll know that the red buff was just taken. We'll get the accurate timer, so could see it invade in a few minutes, but won't be able to stop the Nidalee early on. Nidalee did get a full clear bar 2 camps, which is pretty good. Moving over towards this mid lane, we may well have the junglers clash even, but Eagle throws the spear, misses, and will just run away. Probably trade scuttles. Let Lee Sin have the bottom one. You don't want to fight Lee early. Just go take the top scuttle.
Yeah.
And they'll be fine.
And the pressure from the bot lane 100% secures that.
Rika already moving. He had massive top lane prio, so now this is actually pretty hard for Eagle to safely secure the crab. But it looks like the call's been made. No, the crab was towards mid lane. Just give it up, Jace. And with a smite, I imagine Nidalee will get this one. Ooh, Glory taking a lot of damage. This is very aggressive here by FTV. Eagle, does he want to go in here? There is a yellow card. This is a little bit of a messy one from both sides. Eagle taking so much damage. They want to turn it around. There's another yellow card. This will be a 1-for-1. The teleports are arriving, though. Tado got here first. They want to burn Victory down. Now Rika's here. The yellow card again, but there's the E over the wall from the Cassiopeia. It is an absolute bloodbath here at level 1. And police out of nowhere, and the overheat for Tado meant he couldn't turn on the burners. And with a sliver of health, the Rumble gets away. It's a 2-for-2 in this early game. We are both here to play game 5. Aquino doesn't want to let it rest. Aquino is hunting, but now they may well get hunted. No, they'll get away towards the mid lane. And here we go. This is a game 5, boys. This is how we like it.
And despite it being 2 for 2 overall, you have to say Percent Summit just a little bit comes out ahead. You get the first blood, you get both kills onto the Cassio, and you get alone time for Shine in the bot lane, and Police's flash and heal trying to save Rika from the rumble, and off to a fast start, high octane game right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
And both teams very happy with where the gold went. Jace got the early kill, went back, bought a serrated Dirk, now has unmatched control of the top lane. Twisted Fate getting a kill as well. Always a good thing. But Cassiopeia being 2-1 early, they want to go for this engage in the top side, but Tardo's gone so early, he just dies. Eagle wasn't close. They will be able to trade it back, but Tardo, mate, you've got to time that better.
And I think both of them were just did not expect. They honestly didn't expect Rico to actually go in on the bait that was being set up, probably because of the minion wave. But no, Rika just dives straight in.
Glory could be in some trouble. Uses the ult. Does manage to get away from the Dark Binding. It did hit, but he cleansed it immediately. Does a lot of damage onto Victory, but not enough to kill him. This game doesn't slow down.
And Victory turning away from the Petrifying Gaze keeps him alive, as well as the Roam playing a part to hold him back. Meaning that maybe the last not Petrifying, I think.
Twisted Fate ult has been used. Just for vision at this point. Tardo getting dove on by Rika, but Tardo has teammates coming. Can he slow them down enough to get there? Eagle hopping forward. There's another harpoon. Rika should be going down. He's got no real chance. And it is the poison from the snack that'll get it. That is a very dangerous noodle in the mid lane already. 3-1 for Glory. The big carry for this Percent team. You said it when we first started casting this promo series. Glory, it is all about him. He can 1v9, and he's 3-1 at 7 minutes.
And he's on Cassiopeia, a very, very well scaling champion. One of his best. He's perfectly set up right now. Now, Rika, Yulwei touched on it before. He knows he can win lane on it pretty hard, but he does overextend, and there he was caught by the whole top side just showing up at once. And meanwhile, it's wound up with a reasonably even looking top lane, reasonably even junglers, as Nidalee's been able to pick up quite a few kill assists, and we see a lead in the bot lane. So it's actually coming up in favor of Percent across all 3 lanes.
For sure. Kuriko has started this dragon, but Percent don't want to let it go without a fight, but it does go down. Can he get over the wall? He certainly can, but the equalizer is used. I don't know if there's any follow-up as the spear just misses. That was close, but they do use a very important teamfight ult and rotate to the dragon just a bit too slowly.
And Tardo walking all the way down has been huge. It lets Rika catch up and CS. It lets him get this turret plate. Might be able to push for a second one. Not super likely, but it's still a lot of extra pressure in this top side for not much. With Kuriko getting the dragon and getting out with only the culling basically used, as in the trade. Yeah. So
very smart use of the culling as well. It was just purely for damage on the dragon.
Absolutely. Please, even though he's behind his ears, he still looks so much more comfortable on this Lucian pick than he did on the Varus.
Police has always been a fantastic Lucian. It's one of those things where me and Yulwei would often say, Lucian's not actually very good in the bot lane. Not so much this current meta, but this is previous metas. He was very much a solo lane champion. But whenever it was Police, we were saying, no, he can take Lucian to the bot lane because he's fantastic at it. And he's gone. Game 5, last chance saloon. Go to your best champion. I think there is merit to worrying about comp a little bit less and going to comfort. But speaking of comfort, Lisa has found in bullet time used. Can they get enough damage? Not quite. The dash was good. Aquino might want to make something of this, but no, everyone backs off. A lot of damage dealt to those ADCs.
And this MF Brom combination has been working wonders, has worked wonders.
Oh, but up in the top lane, Tado in very, very much trouble. The flash into the queue from Kuriko will make sure the kill comes in. Victory got interrupted from the ult. I think it was that Miasma interaction.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how that worked. That's interesting.
Well, it stops all movement.
Yeah,
so
I guess it's coded as it must be coded as like a big blink or something. Because does it stop teleport?
Yes.
Okay, well then that makes total sense then.
It's a teleport, yeah. It's Grounded is absolutely nuts, and it's even nuttier on Cassiopeia than any of the other champions it's on.
It's true. Now, we have to zoom out a little bit. We are very much talking about glory here, but it is a lead for FTV. The Jace has been going very well, has a massive lead in the top side. This is Rika's Jace. We know that it's very scary.
Yeah, and we're seeing the benefits come from the turret plates more so than the actual CS numbers. I mean, Rika's been doing great, and we've actually seen an early swap from the top laners.
Yeah, that makes sense. Get the ADCs up to
on the side of FTV.
I mean, I was about to say it makes sense, but normally you do that to get the Herald.
The Herald, yeah. So they made the swap and then not actually been able to get the Herald because of the control that Glory presents in that, because his strength in that mid lane is just far more than what Police and Akina can offer at this moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a very strange decision by FTV. I almost think it was a bit of autopilot, swap our ADs up, without realizing the fact that Police and Aquino don't do as much as Jace, as you said, just because this is such a good lead for Rika's Jace early, and they've just immediately swapped back. A very strange passage of play, and it actually got percent to catch up significantly in the goal. They're only 200 behind now. 200 is negligible. Not a good petrifying gaze there at all from Glory. Didn't even do the damage. That was a bit of a whiff.
Yeah.
But a lot of damage.
And that catch-up comes in the form of the bot lane. There's about 20 CS lead for Shine right now. It'll be slightly caught up. But yeah, Tado is forced to equalize the wave just to stop all this, just to stop Rika from getting another tower plate for basically free.
Mm-hmm. And see, one of the problems here is that Tado is very far behind, yeah. But Rumble can still press R. Rumble from behind does way more than Lucian from behind. So it's not a very good trade. Aquino has been found, goes for the flash instantly. Police backs off as well. Should just be a red buff steal. No kills. As there was a bit of a missed CC.
And now we're finally seeing Kuriko head back top. Tado has noticed this and is getting all the way out of it. So does not want to give up this kill, but that's another wave loss. That's more plates going over to Rika. But they're going to probably lose out on first turret because of this Rift Herald.
I need to see the health bar. No, I don't know. I think they get first turret.
With
pretty
Kuriko
easily, yeah,
they get it.
They do get it. So it's not a great trade for percent, but it is a turret for a turret. If they can get this, which they should
and
be
they're
able to.
They're going to get turret.
It's very tanky.
They'll definitely get the turret, but they're also going to get the air drake on top of it. And I'm just going to say mountain now because Ocean has betrayed me twice.
All right, you're saying mountain. Let's see if you can continue to be the new Yulwei, because you've gotten it wrong several times in this one. Hey, yes! There's no more Yulwei. The meme is dead. Now you're going to start making me guess. Oh, no. My. But we do go to the less impactful of the two rifts. Ocean Rift, of course, is game winning. Yes. While Mountain Rift is just game helping. It is good. It's very good for FTV. If they can get it, the amplified magic resist with 3 AP threats is pretty ridiculous.
it will turn the inevitable hex drinkers into the 2 hex drinkers that already exist into very, very efficient items. And yeah, that's gonna do a lot against especially Tata, who wants to stack that flat magic pen for the equalizer damage. Will probably not see that. So we'll definitely probably see more like the Leandries on the side of Glory, because the ticking over time to reapply does do so much.
Down in the bot lane, Tardo gets absolutely melted as he dropped an equalizer, but there was a Twisted Fate ult to make sure he was not going anywhere.
Yeah, and this is what we want to see. Ganking for Rika. That's all we really need to see. And we're going to see, Victory might be making a massive mistake teleporting up here.
Oh, that is a huge mistake. He just gets absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
That was shocking, Victory. Just an absolute brain fade.
Like, I understand, like, you want to think, I make this, then teleport across the map to stop it. But
and Rika's in some trouble, but no, Kuroko's close enough. Okay.
And so that's Tardo. Just a kill and a tower.
Tardo has to flash, but he gets away to the tower.
He's probably not going to be in too much trouble unless...
the culling has come out. It's going into the shield of Lisa, though. They've both gone gold. There's the bullet time to try and get the Braum out, and it will work. Eagle coming in. They want Aquino, but I don't think they'll be able to find him. Tardo did die on the bot side. He stuck around when he really shouldn't have. He's having an absolute clanger. And maybe, I'm not sure, as Police is very scary where he's positioned. I think they'll just back off.
Yeah, I was talking about the bot tower.
That definitely went down. I do apologize.
But yeah, so that's... In the end, it's just, another kill in the tower. So essentially, that's just a redo of the top lane kill in the tower. So overall, in the extended long play, that's FTV getting an extra kill.
It is, but the thing I'm worried about is that it's only a 100 gold lead for FTV, despite there being a 0-4 Rumble. So if you take away the weakness of the Rumble, percent is stronger in the 4v4, which is scary, because Rumble, if he ever is in a 2v1, he just instant dies. We keep seeing it. Tardo needs to play much safer. He's playing very badly. But he's still Rumble. He can just press R on a wave and hold Jace back for 30 seconds.
Yeah, he can just... He needs to try and buy as much time for this for this 4-man group. But again, there is no hard engage on the 4-man group.
Exactly.
While there is a good amount of disengage for FTV with the Dragon Rage kick.
Kuroko could be in some trouble. He walks straight into the Petrifying Gaze, takes so much damage and does go down to the final E from the Cassiopeia. Victory eats a spear, but won't be close enough to get killed. But it is just a free jungle kill. Aquino in some trouble. That's a huge mistake. Just goes down. Flashing forward is Glory. They want it all right now. Gets stunned under tower. Not ideal. Police very low, but knows he's safe. Now Rika has arrived. The old... Victory! He comes in, stuns a minion, gives him the old Reginald. He's got another gold card, though. Can redeem himself. Lisa wants to go forward with the Glacial Fissure. Gets stunned, misses the ult. This is a very, very close one. Victory has to run away from Shine. It's on a knife's edge. But in the end, percent back off, and they don't get the Rift Herald.
The minions 100% MVP. The misclick from Victory is so he turns around, and when he's turning to dodge the skills from percent, he ends up clicking the minion, and then the last shock blast that should have killed Lisa just gets chumped by another. It feels so bad for FTV. That could have blown it open, but everything went bad.
Well, it's interesting because in the end, no one extra actually died from FTV, but it meant that Eagle went back and didn't take the Rift Herald. As soon as Kuroko died, Eagle moved over to the Rift Herald. So the other jungler's dead, I'm just going to take Rift Herald. But then that re-engage meant he had to come back. no one actually died, and they didn't get the Rift Herald, so it actually worked out. And oh my god, they're going straight onto Glory. He's in trouble, uses the Petrifying Gaze, doesn't get the stun, but it does slow Jace down just enough. Kuriko now doing a lot of damage. The Equalizer's a bit shocking there, but Kuriko is dead. And Aquino, I can't even talk. Aquino will follow him to the grave. A good bit of poke onto Shine. Are they confident enough to take this dragon? FTV very healthy, percent very low, but they have a two-man advantage. Got to dodge those cards, Eagle. Got to dodge them, as police will be coming in and getting him, but he might go down in response. He certainly does. Glory with another kill. Victory not living up to his name as he's getting burnt down in the dragon pit. This Twisted Fate definitely looking pretty twisted, but not in a good way.
And Rika just not having enough mana to keep raining in Shock Plus. So many people on percent are low, but he can't finish them off. Please going down to Glory over the wall just completely turned it around. And with that, it's a 4 for, I guess, 2 or 3?
I lost track. I completely lost track.
Yeah, they don't even kill Glory. It feels that, it's so close to getting him, but he just comes back, heals up, gets the kill, gets the triumph. Oh, no, he wouldn't have triumph, his presence of mind. So, gets the healing just off of his kit.
Just off being Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
Eagle kind of stuffed it there. If he hadn't eaten those cards from Victory, probably doesn't go down, but it was a good trade regardless. And then Victory, I said it in our Discord when we were talking about this in the while you guys were doing analysis. I'm a little bit worried about Victory on Twisted Fate. And, well, that wasn't a very good play, was it? And it's a 6-1 Cassiopeia. 2 items at 21 minutes.
And it's looking like Glory can just carry this game. And if we may be not seeing FTV in the VCS anymore.
Don't you dare say that this early. We are not making calls. Twisted Fate Ultimate is used. They know exactly what's going on. Oh, that is a fantastic Rumble ult. Aquino and Kuriko just go down. That was a terrifying little approach. You can't go into the Equalizer and a bullet time.
You can't go into corridors like that against this comp. You absolutely do not have the chance. Against an Equalizer, against a bullet time, against a Glacial Fissure, this is the perfect, against a Miasma as well, this is the perfect team for fighting in corridors. You
don't do it. Yeah.
You have to make approaches from the open spaces in River, and that's going to be a clean Baron take. They'll give up a mid tower, but FTV are able to defend this mid lane turret for now, but that should easily fall down on the next siege.
Yeah, it very much should be. And it's just, you have to ask the question, how does Glory ever die now? It's so easy for him to hold the Jace back, and the Jace is the biggest win condition that FTV has left. Everything else just hasn't worked out.
It has to be an insane pick from Victory and Kuriko. Like, Kuriko and Aquino are just, they're just not showing up this game. And when it's really needed, like the carries they're all doing fine. Victory's had a few iffy moments, but he's for the most part, he's played fine. It's Aquino, he's just being caught out again and again and again. And this Morgana pick, you have to question it. It hasn't looked good.
Yeah, Aquino doesn't look practiced on it. Equalizer is dropped. They really want this in-him tower. Culling used to push them back. It will work. Actually, a lot of damage done onto Tado there. He's in some serious trouble, but flashing. Oh my god! The Petrifying Gaze is absolutely massive. It's only good enough for one kill, and Glory will actually go down. Percent is losing this fight. The Twisted Fate Ultimate is here. Kuriko is landed onto Shine. This is another kill. This is a disaster now, but look at Victory. He's trying to come in on the fight on 100 health. He's going to get hit. Oh no, never mind. As there is the kill. There's one. Can we see more? And it's an ace. Percent are all dead. Rika with the absolute MVP play.
And what even happened? Eagle, it looked like Glory was going to completely carry that fight. He got so much. He got a 3-man ult and straight into the bullet time. cleaned up. Looked like FTV was going to be cleaned up. Then Eagle reaches too far under turret, dies. Rika's shock blast blows almost one-shots Glory. He goes down too. And then it's just a chase. Then they just chase down the remaining members. And it comes up huge. Victory is wondering why he's back there with such low health. All he really wound up doing was just exhausting Shine for that ace. But oh my god, Aquino just disappears. And then we see Eagle going in. He dies too fast. And then Kuriko, I don't know what on earth was going. I don't know why they decided to turn around there from percent. It looked like they were trying to get a kill into.
This was all Rika.
Police, but oh my god.
Oh, but we come back with a dragon being taken. The second mountain drake, picked up for percent, and they want to retreat. Victory is on a flank, but he's not a very strong TF. He needs to be incredibly careful. Blue buff. I'm not even sure who got that, but it will be a dead eagle. This is very bad. Percent, steady your nerves, kids.
Glory managed to get the blue buff in the end, so small victories. But they have the dragon. They're on soul point. It's it's gonna get harder and harder for FTV now because they have a lot of pick potential and poke, especially from Rika. And if they get Mountain Soul, they can basically deny a whole acceleration.
Oh, but here's the Kuriko corridor. Kuriko's been caught, and they want to keep this one going. The tower's down. Can they chase on to Victory? There is a TF ult, so there's no secrets, but Victory will go down. It's a double kill for Shine. Can they turn this into anything more? There's no Baron on the map. So there's actually no objectives to take off this one. Will Aquino get away? He will. The slow wasn't much. They're pushing down the mid lane, but I don't think they have the health bars to siege the inhib. It's just kills, and this game does not slow down. Ooh, do they find police? That'd be a huge catch, and they do find him because of the sweeper. That's an absolute disaster. There's the shutdown, and they find Aquino as well. Oh, you can run, you can run, but you cannot hide from percent as they find everyone.
And the greedy teleports, I'm just going to be the undoing. There's now massive death time is. They might not be able to push this.
Such bad recalls.
They're going to probably get this inhibitor tower.
They should.
They're able to trim the wave.
Should, with the second wave.
No, they should. They should. Yeah, with the wave coming in, and it's going wrong. Rika's sitting on the flank.
Oh, huge damage though. Now we could have something going. Kuriko goes forward, but instantly W's out. Can percent find their way out? They're getting chased. They don't want to let them go, but I think they might not have a choice. Another accelerated shock blast. Rika is not stopping. He needs to be careful. He's very far ahead of his team. And percent, don't make the same mistake. Be careful with your recalls. Do it together, son.
Yeah, they're playing. Percent is playing a lot safer, but those bad recalls.
Those
bad recalls. This game is very VCS, and it's very fitting. We're at 33 kills at 28 minutes. We're getting there.
Yep. Well,
Baron's on the table.
Whoever ends up winning this game,
it's just going to get started there.
Will fit right into the VCS, with at least in terms of the tempo of the play. Hopefully, they tighten it up a little bit. As Aquino gets massively chunked, and there's the flash forward. They're going to try and get this. Morgana pops the soul shackles, but there's the equalizer. Gets the stasis. I can talk. And that is a free pick. A big AoE CC ult gone, and the Baron should just get burnt down now. The equalizer is not available, so they might go for this. I can't see the Baron's health bar.
The Baron health bar
is very low, and it's secured.
I
thought that was a steal for a second as well, but it was secured.
Yeah. It's secured.
Can they stop this teleport? Nope, he's gone.
They cannot.
He actually had to go back as well. It was really important.
Yeah.
And now they get their reset.
Now they're getting the reset. Jeez. And this is going to be huge for the inevitable fight around the Mountain Drake. Because Rika stopped his back. I'm not sure why, just to trim the wave a bit.
Interesting.
And And I feel that they tried to group with Rika a bit too early. I mean, it worked wonders in that one team fight, but they weren't able to apply that split push pressure and get those inner towers down on the side of Percent. Because, yeah, I mean, Rika's got his carry pants on. He's doing the best he can, but it's not doing enough. It's him against the world. Shine and Glory are both carry threats, whereas there's only really Rika right now.
Absolutely. I don't know how you hold back the wave of Percent.
Started to fall off.
Yeah, even if Rika can blow up Glory, you've still got Shine and vice versa. Oh, it's a bit rough. Another in-him tower will fall. It's just Lisa standing in the front. Tado has been found by the Jace, drops the equalizer, but Kuriko lost and alone. Absolute space cadet in the middle of another galaxy as he goes down. Tado goes golden. Lisa trying to help him back off. Ooh, percent is fairly low, but the big bullet time will equalize those HB bars very, very quickly. Glory flashing forward. He wants everywhere. It was a little bit too aggressive as he goes down, but it doesn't matter because they still have Shine. Victory is dead, and it looks like we might have a new entry to the VCS. FTV, they're finally dead. They're finally gone. Oh, never mind. Can they get this done? Rika is still here. He's doing the damage, but no! He goes down, and Percent will be the newest addition to the VCS. The gatekeepers have fallen, and the gates have swung open. Welcome to the VCS, Percent.
And they do it. They managed to go in on the back of Glory and Shine.
And I'll give you...
Late game Shine can show up.
And I'll give you back over to Yulwei to tell us all about this win and what it means.
And FTV is gone. Did we actually expect FTV to lose this?
FTV is finally out of this league. Man. They've been struggling.
Yes!
Split after split after split. But it's still kind of sad to see them go. Everyone who knows my Reddit account knows that I actually rock the FTV flair. So, of course, a big police fan.
Queue up your Gandon pole bearers because FTV is deceased. They are knocked down. Watch as they come back immediately for
probably
for spring next year. But
the gatekeepers were not strong enough this time to hold the door. Percent just able to brute force the way in, and I think it's off of great early games. They have been able to take a game of OPG, dominate OPG another game, and then also now at least win 3 out of 5 early games. So very much early game power, a lot of firepower on all the carries as well. So I like to see Glory. I want to see what Glory can do, and it's exciting times. I just hope they get another top laner because
Rika's free.
That top lane performance. Yeah, Rika's Rika stepped up big time today. He didn't deserve to lose.
We could see this percent lineup with Rika on it.
Yeah.
Could be
big improvement already. Yeah. I agree. Also, maybe consider YT again, because Tado was not cutting it today.
I mean, we will see. Eagle comes in clutch when their backs are against the wall, gets them across the finish line.
I have to say, though, looking at the whole series, yesterday, LPL Finals, everyone praised Lu Mao for the biggest carry performance from a support ever. Not sure. Maybe one day later we already saw an even bigger carry performance out of the support player. Aquino really did his best to carry percent into the VCS.
Yeah,
my God, there was some... Holy moly. There was maybe the worst support player I've ever seen over 5 games. He was so unbelievably bad.
That was pretty bad. You're not wrong.
He made all his teammates actually look like good players. And we are talking about Victory, Rika, and Kuriko. Like, hello.
That was... Yeah. Well, that will be the series. That's the promotion tournament. Welcome to the VCS, both Overpower, technically they're returning, and Percent. Welcome. We'll see what we've got for us. And I've been
already over again. Only one
We've had
weekend, but
every
of course,
day.
yeah, we'll just
Yulwei.
hit a little bit of a pause, and we'll be back for summer. Thank you all for joining us today, and apology, for yesterday. We wanted to cover it as well, but of course, Australian internet not the greatest, so sadly we had to sit out. But there was LPL finals, so it's not too bad. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Vinnie, for covering this whole series and also the very first series of the promotion tournament. And stay tuned for extra content. Stay tuned for podcast episodes and maybe even an interview here and there. You never know. Thank you for joining us, and see you in summer.